Welcome to the Pancake Podcast. This is your boy Jason, and we are here. We are live. Can't complain. A beautiful day and sunny Texas and whatnot. We have a new member of Pancakes. Say hello to our boy Joppa. What's up, man?
Man, how everybody doing today? Hope y'all doing great.
Yes, sir. Tell the world about you, man. This your stage, man. What's up?
First thing first, South gonna hold it down, man. Born in Texas, I was raised in Georgia, played Gwinnett County sports. I ran track collegiately for a little while. Right now, I'm a personal trainer. I've been operating my business since 2019. I also double as a content creator, nutrition consultant, and now, man, sports analyst to that thing. So, let's get it.
Let's get it, man. And we got to plug the other shows on the Black Squirrel Media Network, man, because we turn up on the starting five as
Yes,
well,
sir,
where
definitely.
we talk hip hop and have our takes and everything. If y'all want to join, feel free because we go crazy on that show too. So that's our little invite. But hey, man, the rest of the squad, what is up? How y'all boys doing?
I've been pretty good. It's been a kind of nuts couple of days. It's kind of weird. It's been kind of a whirlwind,
I know if anybody in a part of the pancake community knows where I can find me the Western Conference Finals illegal streams, please hit me up with that.
I'm watching it right now. I got
You actually want it?
I for real want it. I've been trying to find this shunk. You never find it.
I'll send you the website right now.
Yes, sir. I got you. Yeah, Abram got you.
Who pays for cable anymore these days?
We all these days.
Rome probably.
I would shout out a certain website, but I don't want the feds to take Pancake down. But shout out to you. You know who you are. But oh man, NFL news. Sorry, we're cracking up because we're gonna get a surprise.
We don't need to tell him the naughty deeds that Rome's doing right now.
Hey man, the South gonna hold it down.
The South gonna hold it down.
I'm gonna be honest, guys.
I've never heard him sing a day in my life.
The hell did that come from?
Hey,
Thank you, baby.
Yo.
I know he didn't just do what I think that he just did. He did not just do that right now.
Let me get some pork chops and
back up in here.
mashed potatoes.
All right, man, you gotta go.
What I do?
You gotta go.
What I do?
Hey, Rome. How are you?
Hey, dog. I'm living my best life. Blessed right now.
I bet you are.
Chilling. About to eat some good old southern pork chops and mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Just
sir.
adulting. You know what I'm saying? Living that adult life.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Oh wow. Yeah, Rome's living his best life. That's all I have to say for our listeners. Yes, sir. So
That slap intro, it slapped.
it definitely slapped. We were not expecting that at all, but
that was kind of a ballsy joke, but
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
It's a
man, I'm trying to
You got
keep
fresh
composure,
buns for dinner.
Oh, brother.
You said what?
He got his pre-podcast workout on mid-podcast.
You got your grind on, fam. You got your grind.
Hey, man. If you ain't grinding, I don't know what you're doing.
Sir. All right, NFL news. Wow, what a transition. Wow.
this is a terrible transition.
Rome's getting Rome's getting those pancakes right now.
Anyway,
Yo,
Rome's getting those
okay.
pancakes right now.
We got this, squad. Listeners, we're living our best lives, and Rome is living his best life. That is all you need to know. Yes, sir.
All smiles over here.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I bet there is. I bet there's a ton of smiles.
All right, so Carl Nassib
Got some
recently
toasters
came
covered
out,
on that smile too, maybe. I mean,
and so Carl Nassib, shout out Big Carl, man. Our guy came out, he's the first active NFL player to come out as gay. So shout out to him. We're going to talk about the AFC West, by the way. And that division, no offense, but I think it's no contest. Sorry, bro. Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Just letting y'all know right now. They winning it. That is my Super Bowl pick here today on the Pancake Podcast as Rome is living his best life. The Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. Yes, sir.
real bulky with that prediction.
I kind of disagree, although it's hard to pick against the Chiefs, including the moves they still made in the off season. But Tampa literally like reloaded with everybody.
Yeah.
The only thing that's gonna stop them is like injury or like old age, and not even that works. Tom Brady's 43. Old age.
Brown came back.
Yeah, I feel like a healthy Chiefs team with that healthy Chiefs line. I feel like they could have taken it.
A healthy offensive line. That's the only way.
But the only question here is who's coming in second, basically.
Why are you always asking who coming, bro?
Who coming in second? Wow. Because man, you gotta come fast with it.
Why are y'all like
Straight done after that one.
this?
Yeah, my work here is done. I'll just sit back. I'll let y'all take over.
All right. So now that we're talking about the Chiefs, wow. Rob, you are a special human being, bro. I love you, brother.
Love the podcast.
Yes, sir. All right. Do we just want to hop in on this Chiefs O-line, man?
We'll start with the Chiefs.
All right, bro. So
the Chiefs they saw what happened in the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes, their offensive line, and they're like, okay, we'll just completely revamp the entire offensive line. They traded for Orlando Brown Jr., who's going to play left tackle. I think he's a really good left tackle. I know some people are kind of like, I don't know, because he played predominantly right, but I think his power is kind of unmatched for a tackle regardless of position. And Baltimore asked him to do a lot in terms of run blocking, pass blocking. He was asked to pull. He did a lot of their counter bash stuff where they would pull both the guard and the tackle. He was the main puller. They also added Joe Thuney, who is one of my underrated players in the NFL. Geez. If you could probably ask any NFL fan who Joe Thuney is, and I don't think a majority of them would know, but what makes him so great is he's so smart and he combines that with power. And what they really did that I thought was a really good addition is getting both Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey in the NFL draft. Trey Smith has actually been penciled in as the starter at right guard. And I honestly think without the medical issues, Trey Smith was a day 2 guy who fell to like round 5, which is a steal and a half. But what these picks tell me is that in the offseason acquisitions, the Chiefs are going to run more gap-based run schemes because their run game did get a little predictable near the end of the season. There was a lot of inside, outside zone, split zone, and they just run play action off of that. But with Orlando Brown, with Trey Smith, with Creed Humphrey, you can run more power. You can run more of the counter bash, and that'll open up the play action a lot more because you can show a lot of different looks. Like if you know you can't run the ball and you keep showing the split zone, they're automatically going to think it's play action. But now you have the power, you have the counter, you can run the GT sweeps. And that'll help Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who had a pretty down season after the first game running the football. So I think their offensive line is, I'm not even going to say probably, they're the best offensive line in the division. It's going to be interesting to see how they gel together because it's a lot of parts they just added in this season or this offseason.
yeah, but the thing is, like, they did upgrade in the interior, which is fantastic. They upgraded at left. Mike Remmers is still their starting right tackle as of right now. And y'all know me, especially as a Panthers fan, I do not have very kind thoughts when it comes to Mike Remmers. And the world doesn't have many kind things to say about Mike Remmers, especially after his past Super Bowl. And so that is not just one, but two Super Bowls when he just didn't exist out there. And it's unfortunate because I mean he's okay, I believe. He's not like a sorry tackle. It's just when he goes up against elite guys, they just abuse him,
Exposed.
expose him.
to
So
be
like, what's up?
fair,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't like he just went against scrubs in them Super Bowls.
True.
It was Von Miller. Von Miller done took their lunch money and went home. That's how he was special in that Super Bowl. And you know the rest with the Bucks. They were just on Pat Mahomes, and there wasn't really nothing they can do. So, I mean, at least he played in Super Bowl.
But I
That's
think
the
right now they're hoping that Lucas Niang comes around. He was the rookie that they drafted last year, but he didn't play because of injury. I think he's moving pretty well in the offseason so far. What's crazy is Lauren Duvernay-Tardif, who was their starting right guard the season they won the Super Bowl, opted out because he was a doctor. And shout out to him. Like
Shout
going
out.
straight from the gridiron to combat COVID-19, literally on the front lines, and then coming back and playing football again. I think that's pretty awesome. So they have a good stable of guys on the interior. Joe Tooney, Trey Smith, Lauren Duvernay-Tardif, Kyle Long, who recently strained his calf in practice, but Kyle Long, I don't know what you're going to get from Kyle Long considering he's coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like the Kyle Long from before, then that gives you four guys on the interior where now the thing that they lacked last year along the offensive line, they actually have now in depth. But really, it's going to hinge on Mike Remmers being at least serviceable. Because I think you can kind of mask the right tackle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can mask it forever, but if you slide protect or have additional running back help, you could make him look kind of serviceable.
Defenses are gonna scheme around that though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Go ahead.
I think it's possible to go at it with like a less than good right tackle. I mean, look at those 2014, 2016 Dallas offensive lines. They had Doug Free starting at right tackle, and I mean, he was solid, but he wasn't anything special. But those units still were able to put up great numbers because they had all the other positions secured.
That is a good point. I mean, listen, this team is so stacked that the additions that they have to the O-line, I think will be just enough to put them over the edge. Because they have so much talent, man.
As long as they have Patrick Mahomes under center, does it really you could trot out the JV Baby Gators receivers with Patrick Mahomes and he'll turn them into studs.
Yeah, because it's my homeboy.
It's because it's Patrick Mahomes. And I think Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy also are great play callers, and they suit their offense around what the quarterback can do. You really don't see a lot of quick game with the Chiefs offense. I mean, you see the RPOs, but they throw the ball deep a lot because that's what they have. They have Tyreek Hill, who has a very good argument for being the best receiver in football. I mean, he's top 3 in my opinion. I
agree. I'll give him top 3.
I think he might be the best receiver in football in terms of consistency because he was putting up these numbers with Alex Smith at quarterback.
Did we just forget DeAndre Hopkins when we talk about consistency?
I mean,
I said top 3.
I say he might be the best receiver in football.
But I would say DeAndre Hopkins is more consistent than Tyreek Hill.
The guy that I've seen give Jalen Ramsey significant problems, and that's saying a lot because I think Jalen is the best DB in football. You have Travis Kelce, who is a lot of people's best tight end in football. Clyde Edwards-Helaire he had a very up and down rookie season, like I said, dealt with injuries, and the Chiefs run game is more running back by committee. I do think they need a second receiver because I don't think Nicole Hardman or Demarcus Robinson are doing much for me. But
because they got rid of Sammy Watkins in free agency this offseason.
Yeah.
But as long as you have Mahomes, you're pretty much guaranteed. It's like the Aaron Rodgers thing or Tom Brady. You're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot, regardless. And like, it's so crazy watching him play because he'll just do some stuff that just makes you laugh. Like I was talking about this, like in basketball terms, like Kevin Durant makes shots that you just laugh at because you don't know how to stop it. Patrick Mahomes has passes where you're just like, yeah, I don't know how to stop this. You could throw any coverage, any D out there, but you're not going to stop that throw.
And something that's so underrated about Mahomes is that he can also beat you with his legs too. A lot of people don't understand that about Mahomes. I mean, they do, but they don't understand. Like he doesn't have Lamar jets, but he has that sneaky Aaron Rodgers speed. I think he's a little bit faster than Rodgers.
I get so pissed off when I see him.
He has great footwork.
But he be moving at the same time.
You said what?
I said, bro, it pissed me off because he looks slow, like watching on TV, but he be moving, and it's like people cannot tackle him. What he did in that Titans game, dog, I was like, throw the whole defense away.
Yeah,
for what it's worth, that defense was quite trash.
But even
he probably looks slow to Rome because Rome just be doing different deeds while watching football. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Even in the Super Bowl, he won that game predominantly using his legs to extend the play.
Yeah, no choice.
Defense wasn't a slouch at all. So I think the thing with him is he's so good at changing his arm angles when he passes, where he doesn't he doesn't get phased by pressure because he'll just throw it around the guy, which is like some level of wizardry that hasn't been seen in the NFL a lot. So like he's the best quarterback in football. He's the best player in football. And again, you're guaranteed a playoff spot with him.
It's my hot take time.
Top
5 quarterback ever.
All right, chill.
I'll go 3 when it's all said and done.
When it's all right now, if he retired today.
Okay, let's think about this though.
Okay.
As an NFL MVP, he has a Super Bowl. He made the Super Bowl twice in his first 3 years of his career. He's already set multiple records for regular and postseason. I mean, if he retired today, he would be a Hall of Famer.
He's the greatest black quarterback.
I mean, yeah.
Man.
But in terms of
half is the greatest black quarterback.
In terms of talent, I think this is like the peak.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quarterback play, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Best quarterback ever. I'm gonna give him a little more time, but even while we say that, he's already a Hall of Famer just off of the stats.
I wouldn't go that far, but I don't know.
I mean,
what do you mean?
I mean,
hold on. I'm retired today. But like what?
I don't think three. What is it? How many years does he play? Like 4, 5.
He's played for 3 years.
3 years.
I don't think that constitutes a Hall of Fame, no matter how good the player is. And that's not based on my personal opinions. That's just based on what like voters would say.
I mean, Eli Manning's
voters believe
only win the Super Bowl twice.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on Eli Manning.
Voters believe that Julian Edelman might be in the Hall of Fame, but Chad Ochocinco might not be. This is what the voters probably believe.
Again, if you take Patrick Mahomes' name off of his stats and compare them with quarterbacks that are already in the Hall of Fame, through the first 4 years, you would say you'd want Mahomes' stats. Again, I don't think there's ever been a quarterback where his first 3 years in the league, he's been to the Super Bowl twice. He was one overtime drive away from being in the Super Bowl for 3 straight years to start his career. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and he's already set multiple records again in the regular and postseason. That's a Hall of Fame like stat chart already.
I don't know though. Like
That's first ballot. Forget
first
just
ballot.
normal.
Okay,
Yes.
Absolutely first
y'all
ballot.
are going
ballot.
way off the deep end right now.
That's
What are we
absolutely first
talking
ballot.
about?
Dude.
It's like we already see a Hall of Famer in advance, basically. It's like when you look at LeBron James when he first came in. The first 2 years, everybody knew LeBron James was gonna be a Hall of Famer. It's the same thing with Pat Mahomes. When we saw him play his very first year, then he backed up with his second year to tell people that it wasn't a fluke. Then he came by with his third year, possibly
Went to the
would
finals.
have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for his offensive line. Like, we just know.
I get it, but they're saying if he retired today, he'd be a first
Yeah,
ballot Hall of Famer.
Yes,
Look,
he would be.
His career stats are 14,152 passing yards, 114 touchdowns, and 24 interceptions.
I guess what it comes down to is that he's such an unprecedented player that like there's not really comparison when you're looking at his Hall of Fame potential. Like, yeah, I can't really compare him to anyone going like if he were to retire today going into the Hall of Fame. Like that's my only thing with it.
So just looking
Go
at
ahead.
all right. So I'm comparing Patrick Mahomes' stats right now to Dan Marino, who is arguably a lot of people's greatest quarterback of all time, never won a Super Bowl, but he has all the records.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes has him beat in passing yards per game, touchdowns per game, less interceptions per game. I mean, again, what are we doing here?
But per game stats aren't what they're going to look at when you're going into the Hall of Fame.
So are they going to look at Super Bowls?
That's not the main basis for criteria is what
Are
I'm
they going to look at Super Bowls? Because he has one of those in his
Yes,
first
he
3
does.
years. And has been to
Some of them
another
don't
in
even
his
have
first
one.
3 years. And was an overtime drive away from being from another in his first 3 years.
Look, I'm not arguing against his greatness. I'm just saying I don't know. Like,
I think it's got to be a minimum at least 5, to be honest.
My thing
if you're
is-
talking Hall of Fame.
yeah, give him 5 years.
whatever.
I'd say after 5
I gotta
years.
say a minimum
My thing
of
is,
5
who
years
you
of being just relevant. That's it. Like,
Who are we taking overall?
He's been the
Fame
best. He's been
in
like the
front
best player in
of
the
Pat
league for like 3 years.
no.
straight.
I'm saying he's got to be at least relevant for 5 years. Like, he can't like go out. Like, if he went out this year for whatever reason, had this catastrophic knee injury or whatever, couldn't play again. Like, you wouldn't put him in the Hall of Fame. It was a fantastic 3 years, but it's not one of those where
You
it's
would
like.
put him in the Hall.
We'll put him in the hall.
Just
Y'all
off
tripping,
stats
bro.
alone.
Y'all are
dust,
tripping.
bro.
Like, he's
Off
good.
stats
but-
Smoking
alone.
dust, fam.
If you're gonna pick over Mahomes, there's just not.
I mean,
like,
if you
Hall of
project his
Fame-
stats, then yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Like if you project
Yeah.
him for like the next 5 years or so, he's a Hall of Famer. But
For
just
real.
going off of what's today, if he retired right now, I wouldn't say he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm with you.
Can
Adam.
you? Okay, this is how I judge the Hall of Fame, right? Can you tell the story of football with said player?
I
Well,
mean,
that's fair.
I kind of
That's
understand
fair.
that argument, but at the same time, like David Tyree made the greatest catch in like NFL like history.
For real.
He's not a Hall of Famer though. But you have to
I'll
tell
give you that. That's a moment, though. I'm talking about careers.
They don't win the Super Bowl without that, though. So you can't tell the
But it's
story
also
without
about
that catch.
It is also about longevity.
My thing with Hall of Fame is like in that span you were playing in, was you at least top 5? Was you a serious threat? Not about how long you played. It's about was you the best. Pat Mahomes been the best quarterback for 3 years. Peyton Manning was 1 and 2 in terms of being the best quarterback over his past. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Tom Brady, we know what Tom Brady represents. Drew Brees, he was top 5-ish through his time, and his stats will show. So it's like, to me, was you the best within you played in? And for Mahomes to be the best quarterback in 3 years, when he just started, like, if Pat Mahomes retired right now, he'll be at least a second ballot Hall of Famer.
Give me first, fam. Give me first.
I like how Jason put it when he said, "Can you tell the game of football with that person. I feel like that's just an overall good analogy. Because like when we go back and think about it, we really can, because Patrick Mahomes really is kind of changing the next level generation of football right now. So that's just a good analogy to me.
So
Dang.
then would you say, if y'all are saying all that, like Terrell Davis got inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2017, was it worth it for Terrell Davis to be elected in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
He had a 6-year career. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm just saying, just making sure that's consistent right there, because that dude was good.
There's your argument for Mahomes.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
But I mean, what's like the minimum players played and been inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Right. So I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna say 2 quarterbacks through their first 4 years of their career, because Patrick Mahomes has only played 4 years in his career. So Patrick Mahomes, again, through his first 4 years, 14,152 passing yards, 114 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. This quarterback, through the first 4 years of his career, had 10,527 passing yards. He had 54 or 53 touchdowns to 50 interceptions, I believe. I gotta do math again. Guess who quarterback B is?
Brett Favre.
No. Quarterback
That sounds
B,
like a
quarterback
people
B
who
is
was
Troy
already in the hall, right?
Yeah. Quarterback B is Troy Aikman.
Hold on, but to be fair,
Cricket.
we can't to be fair, we can't compare the quarterbacks to me from the 90s or 80s to this day, because the game has changed so much. Like the game has went from, oh, we're gonna run it, we're gonna trust our running back, and then if we need you to make a play, you're gonna make one, to now it's like throw the ball all over the field. So it's hard to really compare.
But
now,
what I'm saying is, like, through the first 4 years of any quarterback in the Hall of Fame's career, all their stats are pretty much pale in comparison to Patrick Mahomes, which is what I'm saying. Like, if he retired right now, he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I think you need longevity.
Nah, because honestly, he's dual threat too, and I feel like that's something that is kind of different from the game before. Like, not only is he a dual threat, but he's also been the best while being a dual threat, and he's not just one of those I run more, I'm going to rush more than I pass. Like, he's beating quarterbacks in rushing and passing while changing the game. And also, like, this sport is not like basketball where it's just you have to be a lot more durable playing football. So even having that longevity is kind of amazing, and to see what he's doing at his age, and he's only getting better.
I mean, the first full year he played quarterback, he threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. Like, what are we doing? That's a Hall of Fame rookie year.
So, what are we ranking them among quarterbacks?
Like all time?
Top five all time, top 10. What are we projecting Pat Mahomes to be ranked all time?
Like projecting in terms of over a career?
Yes, because we know he's a Hall of Fame. We know he's a Hall of Fame.
I think he'll top Brady, bro. I really do. And rings, we'll see.
On the path that he's going in.
I got Peyton Manning my number one quarterback, and I got Brady too.
The guy Brady dog walked over his career.
Tom Brady.
Favorite of all time.
Don't open up this can of worms, Jason, because we can talk about.
You know what? You're right. We got to save this for another discussion, because we gonna talk quarterbacks. We go debate, and we gonna go all night with it. We still got to talk about Kansas City's defense, fam, because defensively, I mean,
I think their defense
they cool.
Is very good.
You think they're very good?
Very good.
In
the NFL. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defense coordinator, because what he does is he's a lot like Wink Martindale in terms of like how the Ravens play their defense, which is essentially, we're going to throw everything at you. We're going to blitz you, and you're going to have to make the throws. But where I think they faltered in the past few years is they can't stop the run. I don't think that's why Tampa beat them, because they were able to run the ball. You see the games they've lost, they've been able to run the ball. Teams have been able to run the ball on them. their linebackers last year were Dorian O'Daniel and Ben Neiman and Anthony Hitchens, which, yeah.
Now you have Hitchens, Willie Gay Jr.,
Nick Bolton is
Nick Bolton's coming in too. That should help.
I like Nick Bolton for what he is, which is you don't want him to tackle you because he's going to try and end your life.
Yeah, he's one of those charge forward, knock your head off. He's like Micah Parsons light in a way.
I wouldn't even say Micah Parsons light because I think Micah Parsons is more versatile. I do think they share the same struggles in pass coverage. Nick Bolton's not good in pass coverage. He's going to get picked on by coordinators because he's not very good in pass coverage. But if there's anybody who I think can match that, it's Steve Spagnuolo. I mean, Chris Jones is one of the best defensive tackles in football. I'd say he's the second best defensive tackle in football.
Wow, that's high praise.
He's so good.
You're right. I'm not
He's such a great power rusher, but then he'll surprise you with a cross chop because he's so like unreasonably quick.
Yeah.
They added Jaron Reed in free agency, which I think is a good pick for them because it allows Chris Jones to be more versatile along the defensive line. Frank Clark, I don't know how many games he's going to play.
Why did he? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
This is the kind of just a PSA for people. If you're gonna have a gun in your car, don't have a Uzi in the car. That's just
What was he doing, bro?
What do you need that for?
Look, man. Some athletes are off. We just gotta leave it at that.
Bro, go ahead.
Man, Rome, you said you robbed me last week, so what's worse than that?
I get mad at Kansas City because in that Super Bowl, it was like you're trying to run cover one. You're trying to run cover one man against Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin.
Well,
that's not going to work.
They can't play zone. You can't play zone against Tom Brady. That's the
you
one.
gotta mix it up though.
You can't play zone against Tom Brady because Tom Brady's going to pick you apart.
But you can't run man against three great receivers. You gotta at least mix it up or try something. To me, it just felt like they said we're gonna play cover one man, and we're gonna let the honey badger use his instincts, and hopefully he can make a play or two. And they just got shredded.
It worked. Tyrann Mathieu was like arguably like the best safety in football.
Matthew,
I would have him
best instinct.
I mean, in terms of like safeties, I think Tyrann Mathieu might be number one, and we're gonna get to a guy who I think is number two actually in this division. L'Jarius Sneed, it was pretty good for them as a corner. Travarius Ward, but I will say Juan Thornhill was the best rookie defensive back last year. He played, and he allowed them to do a lot of different stuff with Tyrann Mathieu, where they could bring him into the box. They could allow him to roam more because Juan Thornhill would be the free.
Yeah.
And he would eliminate a lot of mistakes that the corners would make. I'm still a little wary about Travarius Ward. Behind him, they have Rashard Fenton, Mike Hughes, DeAndre Baker, who I didn't know was on the Chiefs. Like, shout out to DeAndre Baker for not being suspended from the league.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
But
what did he do again? He did something. What did he do?
He
bro.
Was it like an armed robbery or something like that? Or
how do you rob?
Oh yeah,
robbery. Well, I think he said he got robbed, but really it was he robbed some.
He was hitting licks.
He did what Rome said Rome wanted to do to me
in his own car. Like in your own car, like everybody know from the South, man, you don't use your own car when you hit licks.
Oh my goodness.
Not that I know.
Everyone knows this, bro. Everyone knows this.
I like how you preface that with not that I know of.
Hey,
what you doing? You in the NFL, you got this nice car, bro. Everybody gonna know you.
Yeah, bro.
You like, hold on, ain't this you Baker? Do I'm offending you? What you mean,
You
Robbie?
Baker?
Like, I don't think you have to rob someone to notice. Like, that's almost kind of like common sense. It's just, if you, hypothetically speaking, if you're selling drugs, you shouldn't park a Hellcat inside the trap and
That's what I'm
expect
saying.
not to get you
Very
weird.
true statement.
You supposed to park
Very
the
true
hoopty or
statement.
something, dog. What you?
That's what
parking
I'm
the
saying. Get
Hellcat
you a
for?
white, bro. You supposed to get a '97 Camry, like.
A more,
You said you're supposed to get a
street
97
vehicle.
Camry.
Why
So-
Why specifically a 97 Camry? What's wrong with a 98?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, dog. You gotta look. It gotta look realistic. You gotta look like you. It gotta look like it could be anybody. You
Yeah.
can't pop up. You go to the hood and you see a 2020 and you see a big 6'4" dude who plays in the NFL. Who you gonna spot out?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think a lot of people recognize DeAndre Baker if he like was.
Bro,
I can tell because they
Bro.
point him out pretty quick.
Yeah,
true.
JP, come on now. They're putting on every time me and my teammates go out square, we get noticed, and I don't even do anything. I'm just walking to get my food.
You get noticed for like, hey, do you play in the NFL or do you play football? It's not, hey, are you DeAndre Baker? I don't think anybody's gonna say, hey, that's DeAndre Baker.
Especially in
Yeah,
New
I'm
York,
telling
bro.
you.
They don't give two shits, bro.
Dog,
They,
let me
they
tell you
see a
something,
bunch
dog.
of people on the streets. Like,
Let me tell you something, bro. If you hit, first of all, if you rob somebody, even if they did rob DeAndre, they will know, like, okay, we just robbed the NFL player. So the likelihood that you rob and take your stuff back and then take their stuff and leave out in your car, they gonna look at that car and say, I bet that was DeAndre Baker. Let me go ahead and call the cops on his ass.
That's why you get a '97 Camry.
That's what I'm saying. At least if you got Hoopy, you can second guess it. Like, okay, that could have been.
why are we stuck on a 97 Camry? This is what
I'm not
I'm
gonna lie.
lost.
I mean, it could be '95 too, but I'm just
We gotta
saying,
get
like,
flagged.
But why are we just
But
sticking
that-
odd numbers,
it had
guys?
to be
Like, there
odd
are good numbers
I thought it
too.
was odd numbers.
96 make you more comfortable.
Yeah, 96, 98. That's typically my zone. I stay in 96, 98. You
I
know
mean,
what
I
I'm
would have
saying?
said, I would
So
have
it
said
was
like
even
05,
numbers, or
06.
odd numbers.
Mhm.
Odd numbers.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
So, what's up?
The Chiefs have a corner named DiCaprio Boodle, which I'm rooting for him just off of his name.
Who?
That's a great name. DiCaprio.
With a name like DiCaprio, I bet he could act. That was
He's
I'm
great
sorry.
playing corner.
Someone might laugh. Someone might laugh.
I mean,
It won't be one of us, but
If I
someone
get
might.
one, it's worth it. If I get
Yes,
one,
sir.
all right.
I don't want to pity laugh you, man.
If you laugh at
for me.
that,
Pity laugh for me.
reply to
John.
the Twitter
Yeah.
account.
Like, there he goes. He's laughing. He's laughing. All right, we got it. We got one
Hey.
person.
Joke.
Are really, like always, going to be powered by their offense. Their defense is going to play great, especially on third down, where Steve Spagnuolo can get real creative with his blitzes. I just think their second line of linebackers might legitimately be one of the worst in the league.
Facts.
But as long as you have Patrick Mahomes under center, you're gonna win.
Mahomes, man.
You're gonna win a division.
Also,
a playoff game. You're probably gonna win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
when you got the Honey Badger, who in my mind, in terms of instincts, he has at least top 5 best instincts of all times.
Best safety in the league.
Like, bro, like his instincts are insane. Like that pick against the Browns, that interception he caught was insane. I'm like, what? How? But if you got him back there, you got your D tackle Frank Clark, and then all you hoping for is your corners can hold up, do pretty decent job. But I don't like that approach of. I really hope they don't have that cover one approach because, man, if they do something like that again with receivers like that, they're going to get torched every time. That just to me did not seem like a good game plan to go cover one. Like I feel like they should have mixed it up a lot more.
Yeah, but I look at it like this. At the end of the day, their strategy is like a more advanced version of Ethan's Falcons theory. Just depend on your offense and score and score and score and score and score.
Except they build it right.
Yeah, but just pray that the defense holds up. And honestly, their defense is just good enough. Just good enough, in my opinion, to hold up.
Mhm.
Especially
Just needs to be average.
I think their
Yep.
Good job.
I think their
Mhm.
defense is the top 10 unit in the league, but their second line is really bad.
really bad. That's the only thing. So, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. That's my Super Bowl pick, y'all. and Mahomes' magic is here to stay. Knock on wood. Rest assured, he stays healthy and everything, living well as an owner of the Kansas City Royals and
Oh, I forgot he did
being
that.
very, very rich. And yeah, shout out
He
Mahomes,
also
man.
owns the AFC West.
That's also
How long can he keep this up?
well
That's the
he's
question.
transitioning
Because football is very different.
transitioning to I think the biggest threat to them right now. I think the Chargers might get a game off them.
Yes.
They
Chargers are.
will.
I'm starting.
They almost got him last season.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did win a game off them last season.
I think they did.
It was the
No,
end.
I don't.
It was the
JP,
end of
go
the
ahead.
season, and nobody was playing, but they got a game.
Yeah, but they did get a game off.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
But then,
starting.
like,
I'm starting to believe in the Chargers, which is very scary because you never believe in the Chargers.
Ever.
Nah, I think it's different though.
It's different because, dude, they have a quarterback. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn good one.
fantastic.
Herbert was good.
What was so crazy is he was so good under pressure last year. That's something you don't see from rookies.
Brought him
And
back in that Saints game.
yeah, exactly. And what they allowed him to do is just throw the ball. He came from an offense at Oregon. It was very Mickey Mouse candy ass. And then you put him in an NFL offense. He's going to make all the throws because he has the arm talent too. And if he doesn't have that arm arrogance where he's just like, I'm going to throw it here because I can, he's mobile enough to make things happen with his feet. And as long as you have that guy at quarterback, you're going to win some games.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did, like last year, he had a fantastic season, but the offensive line was really bad. So you know what they did? They went and got Corey Linsley from the Packers, who was the second best center in the NFL in terms of pass block win rate, tops in run block win rate. They went and got Rashawn Slater, who fell to them at 13 without having to trade up.
Because Dallas didn't draft him.
He's going to be.
We don't talk about that, bro.
He might be the left tackle, but
He's starting, bro.
He's gonna start regardless.
Yeah.
Now they've shored up the offensive line. You have Keenan Allen. You have Mike Williams. You have a good enough stable of running backs.
Healthy Austin Eckler's pretty solid.
But I gotta talk about it.
Running backs don't matter.
Y'all know what
Bullshit.
I feel like we never put respect on Keenan Allen's name.
Keenan Allen is
Shit, I do.
Like, he's a dog, and it's like he often gets forgot about. Like, he's one of those dudes that elite, but he often gets forgot about.
I think it's because he's not as flashy. You're not gonna get like 80-yard touchdowns, but you're gonna get 10-yard pass, first down, 15 yards, 11 yards.
I think he can go deep down the field too. I just
he's
underrated. He just doesn't have that, like, I don't think he has the game changer speed like you see with like an OBJ or a Julio Jones. But what he's so good at is his route running and his like body control are near the tops of the league.
Yeah,
because he can get separation without necessarily being super fast or super quick. Like, I think he's more quick than fast. I think that's
that's fair.
He's not straight line speed guy, but he'll get past you and you'll wonder what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams is one of the best like deep threats that the NFL has right now because the ability to high point the ball in the air is insane. Like, he was doing that at Clemson. But I really got to talk about the defense, bro. Their defense might be really good.
Can they be healthy? That's the thing. They to me have a top 5 safety, well, top 3 that just can't stay healthy. Darwin James, the dog, he just can't stay healthy, and it frustrates me because it's like, the man gonna be a dog, he's gonna be good, but it's like he cannot get on the field because he's constantly getting nacked. And it's kind of just frustrating to me because I got high hopes for him. Like, I really believe a healthy Darwin James is a top 5 at worst, a top 5 safety.
And like, one of the things that makes me so excited about this defense is Brandon Staley's now the head coach coming over from the Rams. where he had the best defense in the league. And what he did was he basically dared teams to run the ball. He would make the boxes light. He would run a lot of tight fronts with only like literally 4 or 5 people within the box. But what they do is snap rotate. So they would start in 2 high safeties, but then they roll John Johnson III down the box to stop the run. Now, and also what he did that was kind of creative was he just let Jalen Ramsey play everywhere. Like Jalen Ramsey played in the slot for like one of the first times in his career this past year. I was one of the best corners in the NFL at doing that, which again, best corner in the league.
To me, it's gonna be different because you're saying you got the defense, but you got Aaron Donald and you got Jalen Ramsey. You're not gonna have that in San Diego. You got the best. You got one of the best linemen in the game, a future Hall of Famer. Then you got the best corner in the game, a future Hall of Famer. And you're not gonna have that when you go to the Chargers.
He has Joey Bosa.
Advocate for Joey Bosa right here, bro.
Joey
Bosa ain't Aaron Donald. Come on, now. Joey Bosa ain't
Aaron Donald.
He's good though.
Whoa! Joey Bosa slender?
Joey Bosa.
No one's Aaron Donald. You can't expect anyone to be Aaron
Exactly. So
Donald.
it's going
to say, like, hold on, wait, why are we setting the bar so high for my man Joey?
Joey Bosa
Not my man Joey,
so
but
good
you know
because he uses power. Like,
don't correlate me with that man.
And his technique is so amazing. Like he'll use a double cross chop. He has so many like counters to everything where his motor doesn't stop. And he's also really good against the run. And one of the things Brandon Staley did on 3rd down was he got creative with where he placed Aaron Donald. He would line him up out on the edge and he would cross and he'd do stunts. He'd line him up over the center. He'd line him up at guard. He would move Jalen Ramsey around. He'd move him to slot. He'd keep him on the outside. And what that allows you to do when you have a guy like Jalen Ramsey, the principle for NFL coverage is say you have like trips to one side and the receiver on the other. You always want to have 4/3. You want to have 4 DBs versus 3 receivers. And you want to have 2/1. 2 DBs over 1 receiver on the other side. With Jalen Ramsey, they basically just said, okay, we'll move 5/3 because we know we have 1, and that 1's going to take away your other 1. With Derwin James, you have that potential. You have potential to line him up in the slot, and you don't have to necessarily dictate to, we have to have 4/3 and 2/1 because you have a guy like Derwin James who can eliminate anybody that they line up in the slot, and he can come down and blitz. With Joey Bosa, they're going to move him around. They're going to move him from over the guard, over the tackle. Jerry Tillery, a very good pass rusher.
Yep.
And I think their linebackers are better than the linebackers they had in LA. I think Kenneth Murray is bound for a breakout year. Denzel is in Carolina now, so that frees up a lot more playing time for him.
But here's my issue though. As great as Darwin is, he ain't Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey took the best receiver. I can't say Darwin James will take the best receiver every game and take him out, and you're going to get the same results as Jalen Ramsey. So my thing is, they don't got that guy. And we all know with some defensive coordinators, they're great because they have that guy. And then when they no longer have that guy, they just turn into a basic or even a bad coordinator. So
I think Brandon Staley has the guys to continue to be a really great defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's still got the guys.
James isn't Jalen Ramsey, but the way he's going to be deployed in terms of they're going to rotate him from too high into the box. They could rotate him back free. They could take any slot receiver away. He allows you to dictate the numbers game where you're never going to be out of position. You're never going to be outnumbered on one side because you have Derwin James. And at corner, I honestly don't think they're that bad necessarily. Casey Hayward is still kind of good.
Do they still have Casey Hayward?
Asante Samuel Jr. is a fantastic pick in the 2nd round.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to play. He's one of the best zone corners coming out of college that I saw this year because his instincts are so great. And a lot of that's due to being a son of an NFL player. But his closing speed and timing is what Brandon Staley looks for in a corner, regardless of the fact that he's 5'10", 5'11". dude can ball. Brandon Staley has all the tools for this defense to go to that next level.
You say that, I disagree, my guy.
Yeah, I'm not a
Disagree.
big Kenneth Murray guy.
I'm not a. Last year, like when we needed a linebacker on the Panthers, I was high on Kenneth Murray, but like watching him this past year, he was cool. Like a breakout year, I could see it happening, but I wouldn't like put all my chips on it either. Cause I'm sorry, I'm not high on this front seven, man. Okay.
To me, when I watch Kenneth Murray, it's like when I watched him at Oklahoma, when it was played sideline to sideline, that's where he was excelling at. But when it was downhill football and he had to take on blocks, I just didn't see it.
That's the thing. And like that's secondary, man. I'm sorry.
Chris Harris is washed.
I'm sorry, bro. He is. I hate to say it. Because he was the truth when he was the truth. But as of right now, I'm not.
We can't trust Darwin James. Like, and I hate to say it, but he just can't stay healthy.
I trust Derwin James. I trust him to have another quality season.
I don't distrust
I hope so. I'm a big Derwin James fan. I hope so. But it's like the injuries, man. You know those add up with you.
Yes, they do. But the thing, dang, you got a good point. And like, if he gets hurt,
it's gonna
that secondary.
That whole secondary is done.
I mean, they already get cooked. No offense to them, but I mean, you're in a division with Mahomes, my guy. Like,
okay, so
real.
I mean, my counter to the whole secondary possibly being bad is before Brandon Staley got to the Rams, had any of y'all heard of Troy Hill or John Johnson or Darius Williams before he got there?
Good point.
Very good point.
Brandon Staley's defense elevates players because they don't necessarily look for guys who are the fastest or the strongest. They look for guys who have great instincts, which is what Casey Hayward has, which is what Asante Samuel Jr., which is what Chris Harris Jr. has still at this age. He has great instincts. So I think their defense I think they're going to take a huge step forward. I'm not saying they're going to like go to like tops in the league, but they're not going to be as bad as they were last year.
I think Casey Hayward's on the Raiders right now.
Casey Hayward's with the ops. He went to the ops.
He's on the Raiders.
But to me, Johnson was allowed to do that because I feel like they benefited mostly because once again, you also have Aaron Donald and a good pass rush. You can get away with a lot more stuff with a good pass rush.
Joey Bosa.
You still
Joey Bosa. Yeah, I'll give him Joey Bosa. That's not what I'm worried about.
But besides Joey Bosa, I don't know.
I mean, besides Aaron Donald, had y'all heard of Sebastian Joseph Day?
I mean,
Michael Brockers.
You got a point.
Yeah, you got a point.
Solid.
Brockers is solid.
Again, JP's just
Linval Joseph
right now, and I enjoy watching.
Linval Joseph is a great nose tackle.
Yeah, I like Joseph.
Terry Tillery, a good young pass rusher from the interior. You got Joey Bosa. I think Chris Rumph and Uchenna Nwosu are going to play very well on the strong side, opposite of Joey Bosa, because whoever is opposite of Joey Bosa might end up looking really good because they're opposite of Joey Bosa. I think Brandon Staley's going to use Kenneth Murray in more of a you don't have to read and react, because that's the worst thing. Like unless you're like Luke Kuechly, a lot of linebackers in the NFL get picked on when they're rookies because the read and reaction is so much quicker in the NFL.
Or when they're veterans, if you're Jalen Smith.
Faster. Players are a whole lot faster. Coordinators are a lot more creative. But what they're going to be able to do with him is, okay, we're not going to ask you to read and react. Just go. Just go to the ball. We're not going to ask you to like read or make any of these complex adjustments. Just go get the ball. And that's going to work because that's what Kenneth.
Dang, my boy was making an excellent point, and my boy froze. He'll be back. But
my thing with Kenneth though is like it's not the read and react.
Right.
To me, my main problem has always been downhill running. Like, it was a game. Well, I think it was K-State. I remember K-State upset. They did downhill running, and Kenneth was like almost a no-show. But then you got games where you tell him to go sideline to sideline. He's like, for his size, he can move and he can make those big plays. So to me, it just comes down to, I don't think he has a problem reading and reacting. It just comes down to more, is he going to take on them blocks? Is he going to be able to make? Is he going to be able to make them tackles? Is he going to be able to clog up holes? That to me is going to be a big thing from Kenneth Murray.
I just don't deal with Murray.
My thing with him, like, and I do trust the coaching. I do. The only thing is, who do you have to compliment him, man?
Yeah.
Kaiser White, bro. Nick Neiman. Drew Tranquil. Like, bro. Like, it's not. I'm sorry, bro. That LBC,
100%
that linebacker core ain't.
To be fair to that line,
bro.
season, they were top 15 in the NFL and EPA allowed on defense in the run game. I don't think they're terrible, but I will say a lot of the expectation is projection because of how highly I think of Brandon Staley, how highly I think of that defense, because the defense masks a lot of issues that players have with like speed. Because again, like I think the Rams, like strong safety, he played at Ohio State before being a rookie last year. He ran like a 4.64 40, which is a terrible time for a safety. He goes to the Rams and he's automatically a solid contributor, solid player on that team. Because the scheme allows you to just go play football. It
to
doesn't
be fair,
40 times. It don't matter about long speed, broad jump. Just go play football.
To be fair, that's a scam. Like, I'm sorry, but the NFL you running people out there running 4.3s, but look like they're running 4.5s on the field, man. Like, it's a difference between 40 speed and game speed. So I get, like, he looked slow, he ran a 4.6, but to me, it's cut on the tape. Was he good or was he not? That's kind of how I am with it.
These guys, they're not bad at football. Like, I don't think they're necessarily bad at football. I think their scheme last year, I think Gus Bradley was their defensive coordinator. And this is going to sound really like biased because I'm a Jaguars fan, and Gus Bradley ruined the franchise. Gus Bradley sucks as a defensive coordinator. Yeah. I'm sorry. He is another one of those Seattle 4-3, cover 3 guys where if you don't have Richard Sherman or Cam Chancellor or Earl Thomas or Michael Bennett or Bobby Wagner or any of that 2013 Seattle Seahawks defense.
Dan Quinn, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't want to drop no teams, but
I don't think that scheme is suitable to players because it makes them think. On defense, you don't want to have to think too much. And that's not like saying like defensive players are dumb. It's just saying defense is a lot more about instincts.
Yeah.
Because you have to go get the ball. It's not like offense where they have designed plays outside of like defenses like blitzing. They don't have designed plays where like, okay, I'm going to run here and run this route at this time. Yeah. A lot of it is just instinct. You have to go get the ball. And if you add more onto that time, like if you add more onto that reaction, you keep adding to that reaction time where you're constantly thinking about, oh, okay, I'm going to go here. But if it's an end around or something, I'm going to go this way. But if it's a play action, I'm going to go this way. That's going to take all the reaction out of it. Just allow them to play football. That's what Brandon Staley does. Just go play football.
And that's the thing about playing defense is, for me, when you playing defense, and you're a DC, first of all, you got to make sure you get the play call out. You got to make sure everything is set up perfect. And then you got to tell them to go play football. Sometimes as a defense, like, we can look at Tampa in the Super Bowl. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs was down, but they told that D-line, say, hey, go play football. And they told linebackers, basically, we're going to run Tampa 2. Y'all go play football. If y'all see it, go get it. And it worked out perfect because Devin White and them boys took that game over. So I agree with you. Defense is definitely instinct. It's definitely read and react. It's definitely using your instincts. And like I said, it's not really something that it's more like a question in mind, because it's like you brought it with the Seattle defense, and we're bringing this up now. How is he going to deal with this team?
Yeah, I definitely say. I think my biggest problem outside of the Chargers adjusting to the Brandon Staley defense is, if you look at the offensive line, you got Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, Corey Linsley, Oday Abushi, and Brian Bulaga. I think Brian Bulaga is a really good right tackle. And
agreed. Absolutely.
Oday Abushi,
sorry, bro. Nah, he not it, bro. He not it, bro.
I've spoken about Corey Linsley. He's that dude. Matt Filer, again.
That mid pack. It's okay. Everyone doesn't have to be Quentin Nelson.
Good, bad, good.
Yeah.
And the bad is at the guards, and which is kind of a problem, playing Chris Jones twice a year.
Bold statement.
That can kind of be a problem.
But I will say this, though. I will say this. A center as good as Linsley, dang it, might be able to mask some of those issues.
Yeah.
Not all of them, because someone's going to have to run them one-on-ones, and it might look kind of rough out there.
Especially with the Chiefs blitzing as much as they do. They're going to call a lot of 5-0 protections.
Yes, they will.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to be bold with this. Moving into the fighting position. The Chargers are going to finish in third because my boy, Teddy Bridgeburner, is going to put the Broncos in second.
Okay.
I can't wait. I've been waiting to talk about
before we get into it.
I had to
feel like
say,
we glossed over it.
Hold on. Let my man finish.
Teddy Bridgeburner win MVP,
I think
he's going to look at Jason Hewitt and say, now, see, I told you. And I ain't starting Burners account either.
I think the Chargers had the second best offensive line in this division.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they do.
I think after the Chiefs and the Chargers, the offensive lines take a pretty big dip.
They got the third best quarterback, though.
What?
I mean,
actually, I know where this transition.
I know where this is going. I'll let you go ahead. Go ahead. Wait, Ethan, go ahead before Rome.
I think something that we kind of just glossed over was the Chargers' new offensive coordinator, Lombardi. Like, his first go around in Detroit wasn't great, so I'm just interested to see what happens now.
His cup of coffee, where he got his name from, was working with the Saints.
Yeah.
They brought in the offseason, Justin Herbert's worked with Drew Brees a lot in terms of understanding that offense, getting to work that offense a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody like Drew Brees is in your corner telling you everything about the offense,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm starting to talk myself into the Chargers, and I don't like it.
I don't think
I'm interested to see.
I think they go like 9-8, just miss the
8. Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to sniff the playoffs. They're not going to make it, I don't think.
Yeah,
but they're going to get real close.
They're one of the reasons I think the AFC East only gets one team or two teams, maybe. But they're part of it. I think they have the other, because they're not winning the division over the Chiefs. Like, we can be real. Yeah. It's not happening.
Yep.
But I think they definitely have a wild card spot on lock.
I mean, I feel like that's all that the teams in the AFC West are really fighting for.
Exactly.
Yeah, second place.
And I think they got it. And that's why I'm saying, like, when we were talking about, because I would take the Chargers over anybody in the AFC East outside of the Buffalo Bills.
Crack kills.
Nah, it doesn't. I would.
Speaking of crack,
Miami's offense is nothing but average. We already went through it. We went through the entire roster outside of the defense. Nothing but average. Defense is really good. But then again, that's the same thing for the Chargers, but flipped. And I just think if I'd choose the Chargers offense over the Miami Dolphins defense. Anyway, we don't need to go into it. I'm just saying.
Okay, interesting take. Rome, speak your Teddy bum water piece, because I can't.
Bridgeburner?
Yeah, let's talk about that bum who's not going to start.
Hey, let me tell y'all something.
Yes.
Where could we rank the Broncos if the Broncos pull off a miracle and somehow either get Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson?
It's not happening. Rodgers Rodgers is a huge maybe, and honestly,
Broncos do look pretty good.
do they, bro? Do they,
Even if
bro?
they got
They
those,
receiving
they're-
core is pretty solid. They
even
gonna
if they
bring
got
Von
even if they
Miller's
got
gonna
one of
come
those
back. Their
guys.
DBs are gonna be good. Like
they're second at best if they got those guys, and I would still take the Chargers over them, even if they
Yeah,
got those
I'm
guys.
still.
And you add in the fact that they don't have those guys, dead last for me. It ain't even competition. Let's just go to the Raiders. We need to talk about this team.
No, we'll at least
Nah,
cover
no,
the
but
Broncos.
I'm saying this.
I
Look,
need to get my bars off real quick.
but no, look, I'm saying this though. I'm saying if they somehow pull that off, because I'm saying
But they're not.
without it, they're gonna finish in third, or fourth. Honestly, being realistic with the Broncos, they're gonna probably finish in fourth. I don't see Drew Lock or any of them, honestly, but it will be a huge jump if they somehow pulled off Aaron Rodgers.
It would be. That's why it's not going to happen.
That's
Or
the
even
thing.
if they get Deshaun and Deshaun, or if they get Deshaun and Deshaun's able to play this season. Like,
I was gonna say we don't even know if he's playing this season. He's got so much stuff going on right now.
yeah, with the
not.
Broncos, it's a if because
Yeah.
the Broncos can go from last to second with one player.
Let's
So
go
y'all
to the
telling
roster.
me
How?
if the Broncos get Aaron Rodgers,
Mm-hmm.
you telling me they can't go in second?
I mean, yeah,
That's exactly what I'm
No,
telling you.
we just talked about we just talked about them quarterbacks. We just talked about them quarterbacks that say if you got a quarterback like that, you're automatically guaranteed that I'm gonna go to the playoffs.
Hey,
You
guys,
get
who was
Aaron
the-
Rodgers or Deshaun Watson on your team, and you're automatically playoff contender. I'm not saying
gonna
Super
lie.
Bowl.
Okay. I kind of see where Rome's going here.
I don't.
Can I side note right quick?
Aaron Rodgers' mask problems at the Broncos, which is their O-line, is not very good. Outside of Garrett Bowles, I think Lloyd Cushenberry was pretty solid as a rookie.
He was cool. Yeah, he was a good rookie.
Garrett Bowles improved massively in his contract year, which is great for him.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of those two guys, it ain't looking that great.
Massey was solid too. I'll give him a little credit, but Garrett Bowles is a stud though. We can't sleep on Garrett Bowles. He's arguably the most slept on left tackle in the league, in my opinion.
I think that's because he was bad for the first part of his career. Then the contract year came around and he just shot right up.
Yeah, he turned
But
up on them boys.
I will say their receiving core is really good.
I'll give that to him.
Cortland Sutton's fantastic coming off of injury. Jerry Judy's great. I know
Jerry Judy is not good.
Oh, I forgot. Ethan is not
Jerry
a
Judy
Judy.
came along during the end of the season.
All right, so don't get me hopped up on weak man Jerry Judy. Talk about an NFL receiver I could take on. Jerry Judy, bring it on, bro.
Nah,
Jerry
bro.
Judy,
I'll rip that stupid ass chain off your neck.
wasn't on
He
that.
gonna, Jerry Judy will burn you, dog. You gonna come out dark skin if Jerry Judy done with you.
Jerry Judy ain't doing shit. Have you seen the way this man shy away from contact? Jerry Judy can hear this contest. He'll be shaking.
How do you not see this man route running?
Yeah, look, he can run away from me real well.
Now you gonna come out dark skin the way that man burnt you, dog.
Yeah, he'll beat me in a race, but he ain't beating me in a fight. I ain't worried about that toothpick ass looking
Nah, man.
bitch.
Jerry
That
Judy's
was mean. I'm sorry.
Jerry Judy's from Pompano. You're not winning. He's from Deerfield Beach. You're not winning.
I don't give a shit where Jerry Judy's from. I watched Jerry Judy play football, and I'm telling you, watching Jerry Judy play football, that's like torture to the eyes.
Judy dreadlocks will beat your ass.
He said
his
dreadlocks.
Think y'all underestimate me.
I mean, but even the Broncos running back is pretty
outside
good.
of Jerry
He's
Judy,
not the best, but
even outside Jerry Judy, KJ Hamler had an up and down rookie year. Tim Patrick played great for them.
Tim Patrick's good. He's their second best wide receiver.
I'm ready. Spread the gospel. No offense. That dude's gonna be good at tight end. He's gonna be that next guy that we talked about going into the ranks of the elite tight ends.
Yeah.
He's a freak of nature at tight end. He made Drew Lock look a lot better than he actually is.
Yeah.
And behind them you got Alberto. I'm gonna call him Alberto because I can't pronounce his last name.
I got y'all. I'm amazing with these names. So it's
I like how he froze when you about to say it.
No.
Yeah,
He's still
because
thinking. He's
I'm
processing. He didn't
processing.
Oh,
freeze.
he,
processing.
he was thinking. My bad.
Yeah, bro. I
Screen
process
froze.
things. It's a Akwebunam.
Stop
I'm
it.
sorry, bro.
Stop
I'm sorry,
it.
Big Al.
He's a
Stop.
great athlete
Back it up.
at tight end as well. They could run a lot of 12 personnel with those two receiving threats at tight end. It'll look really good.
Mhm.
But again, that offensive line might not be that great. They drafted Quinn
Peaks.
Miners though. Quinn Miners is really good. He went to a Division III school. Quinn Miners
D3
is great.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Whitewater. He did
I
his
think
thing.
the center because of Lloyd Cushenberry. But slotting him in at guard, you got Garrett Bowles, potentially Miners, Lloyd Cushenberry. That's a pretty good left side. Graham Glasgow.
I'm telling you, like, this is what I'm saying with the Broncos. They're ill for all them pieces that JP just mentioned. Like, if you got Drew Lock or Teddy Bridge, you're just not gonna win. You're gonna come in last.
The Panthers won.
But
like 4 games last year.
if you got Aaron Rodgers with the weapons they just are, Deshaun Watson, like, you're going to the playoffs.
But
It
again, I think the thing with the Aaron Rodgers trade is what would you have to give up? Because if you have to give up anything from that receiving core that you think will be great with Aaron Rodgers, that takes the receiving core down a lot.
Rome, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna have to sell a left nut to get Aaron Rodgers. And after what you did before this podcast, I don't know if you're down with all that. Damn, I'm
a
good.
trade for Aaron Rodgers for the Broncos would look like this. So Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver for Jerry Jeudy, Pat Surtain a second, and maybe another first round draft pick.
They should give him Jerry Jeudy.
That's 4 first-round draft picks.
First rounders, bro.
I think
that's the price, bro.
I think anything they'll give away some first picks.
That ain't
They'll definitely give away their future if they get Aaron Rodgers.
But again, the goal in the NFL is to win the Super Bowl right now. So like, I don't have a problem with that.
I don't even think they don't have the roster to do it, because I'm being real. Like, yes, Courtland Sutton. I think Courtland Sutton's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL when healthy. And I think he was on that track when he was healthy. But I think outside of that, like, Noah Fant is very much like Jerry Jeudy, but on a kind of scaled back mode where he just doesn't like contact. He's a guy that shies away from contact. Anytime it comes to tight spaces and catching footballs, it's not a Noah Fant thing. That man, he's not real good on that, but that's all right. He gets himself open. But that's why I'll never look at Noah Fant as a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
I mean, he only had a 5.4% drop rate.
No. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying that he's not good. He's definitely good. There is a negative to his game, and that negative is anytime contact comes around or any type of physicality, he's going to shy away from it. Which, if you look at those drops, that's probably where those drops come in. And then Jerry Jeudy, don't even get me started on weak man Jerry Jeudy. This man, you can see a 5-year-old coming across the middle, and this man's going to shy away and jump out the way. Like, he's going to be like, oh, a semi's coming. Nah, it's just one 40-year-old 40-pound 5-year-old coming for you.
40-year-old
jump out the way.
40-year-old 5-year-old. That is
whatever.
So, if
Whatever,
they get
you know what I meant. All right. What'd you say?
They playoff contenders if they get Deshaun Watson.
First of all, Deshaun Watson's going to have to deal with the booty man we were talking about last week before he gets in Denver. I don't know. What was his name, Jason?
The booty warrior from the Boondocks, bro.
You're going to have to fight with the booty warrior before he gets on the Broncos.
I'm speaking in terms of if everything, if he's able to play football. Now, I haven't had update on the case or nothing. I hope the truth comes out and the rightful punishment is considered. I'm saying he was to play week 1 with the Broncos. Where do you see the Broncos going to the playoffs?
Hell no.
I'm not.
I'm
just not sold on him.
Sorry, bro. Deshaun Watson did it over. Like, he's that dude to me. Like, if you put him on their roster, you're automatically going to the playoffs.
I don't think you are.
How much better is this roster than Houston's from last year?
I think Houston doesn't have as good a lot as Denver's. I also
Okay.
don't think Houston has as good of weapons as the Broncos.
Weapons,
Like,
I'll give you.
I think it's
I
more
don't
right
think-
to compare them to not 2020 Houston, but 2019 Houston. I think that they are an exact replica of 2019 Houston, as
That's
you have
fair.
the big main weapon in Cortland Sutton. You have a decent tight end. Your running backs, you got Melvin Gordon, which, yeah, whatever.
That's what
At least right now in
decent.
his career.
Hey,
But I'm not a big fan of
they
Javonte Williams.
drafted Javonte Williams, who I think is going to be good.
I'm not a big fan of Javonte Williams. I mean,
What?
I don't dislike Javonte Williams, but I think Javonte Williams is just going to be just an average runner.
He runs.
He's RB2 to me.
He runs so angry. It's hilarious.
I liked ETN more than Javonte Williams, but
Oh, yeah,
ETN's
ETN's
terrible
RB1.
spot, bro.
Oh, you had him above Najee Harris?
Yeah, I had ETN over Najee Harris.
I'm
Oh,
talking about Javonte Williams.
I'm tripping. I'd say like
He's RB3. Just say it.
I'm not gonna say that. He's like RB.
If I'm being real, he was my RB4. I like
if I had to choose between Harris and Williams, and like I had Williams, I wouldn't be upset at all.
yeah.
if I'm being real with you guys, I had Javonte Williams as probably my 4th ranked running back.
Behind who?
I like Michael Carter, bro.
Oh,
I just think I'm not saying that he's the better overall all around running back is Javonte Williams, yes. But in terms of just what you could do with Michael Carter in the right scheme, I just don't think. I think that Javonte Williams isn't elite at one thing. He's just average or above average at a lot of things. I mean, he's got really good contact balance, but some of the moves and stuff that he did in college, I just don't think you're going to be able to do that in the NFL. And I think he'll be good enough. He's not going to be bad. I'm not saying he's bad.
I think he's going to look really good in that zone scheme that Denver runs. But
I mean, it'll be interesting.
Their defense is low-key nasty. If they keep Surtain, if they don't trade for Aaron Rodgers, honestly, I think if they don't get Aaron Rodgers and drafted Patrick Surtain, that was stupid. Because Justin Fields was right there.
I'm curious to see what.
It'll all go out the window if you get Aaron Rodgers.
I'm curious to see what Teddy Bridgewater does on a team with a good defense.
He's going to sit on the bench. That's what he's going to do.
Because
he's a bum.
I think
oh, my God, Jason.
Their defense is low-key nasty. I know Von Miller's coming off the Achilles injury.
Yes, he is.
But him and Bradley Chubb could be a really good duo pass rusher. I think Josie Jewell, I think Baron Browning is going to be huge for them as a rookie.
Okay.
I think he can be a good linebacker in Vic Fangio's scheme because Vic Fangio knows how to work with linebackers.
That's
I think
true.
going and getting Kyle Fuller from Chicago was an absolute gem.
Yeah.
Because Kyle
he's a
Fuller
good corner.
was great in Vic Fangio's scheme because he's so good at reading routes and route combinations. He's great at off coverage where he can just analyze routes, then use his instincts. Patrick Surtain is really good.
CB1.
He wasn't my CB1, but he was
Must be nice.
good at everything.
That's
and
fair.
let me spread the gospel of Justin Simmons, who is the second best safety in the NFL.
Wow, you're really high on him.
This
Really?
This
He's
dude
a good. He's very, very solid.
I just watched Campaign and Devin Booker just go off right here, and I did in reaction to that, but then I also did in reaction to what JP just said.
This dude is really good.
I'm just out here.
Solid. Like I'm not gonna call him like.
He played everywhere for Denver. He played a deep zone. He played in the box. He played on the line. He played at free safety. He played in the slot. He played at outside corner. And he had 9 pass breakups, 5 interceptions as a safety. And what he does so well is he eliminates mistakes so well. He's good at fitting the run and also being a playmaker on the deep
He's
end.
really good. I don't know about second best safety though.
I think he's the second best safety in the NFL.
I'll give him 5. I'll give him like top
Top
5.
5. I give him top 5.
I can't give him 2, bruh. I'm sorry. It's too much talent out here.
I mean, dude's really good.
He is very good. And he can put him anywhere, and that's what you want to see. And
I mean, for me, it's Tyrann Mathieu than Justin Simmons.
Really?
The best 2 safeties in the NFL in the AFC West.
Oh,
because they're
that's
actual
a take
safeties.
right there.
And They're actual safeties and not Sam linebackers.
That's a take.
I mean, are we like just forgetting Minkah Fitzpatrick though? Like, we just gonna ignore that?
Buda
yeah.
Baker.
I think Minkah Fitzpatrick. I wanted to say this for AFC North, but I think Minkah Fitzpatrick benefited a lot from being right place, right time. A lot of those turnovers.
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that next week.
A lot of those are very.
You're
A lot of those are
disrespectful
very
for
right
that,
place,
though.
right time.
We'll get. No, we're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get.
We ain't gonna
into
get to it.
No, we're gonna save it for next.
But
We gotta save it
either
for
way,
next week.
I think
we
Vic
gotta get
Fangio-
into it.
If Vic Fangio were just a defensive coordinator, I think people will regard him in a lot higher sense because he's a wizard on defense because he throws so many different things at quarterbacks post snap. Like really a quarterback wants to know is the coverage you're going to be running because that'll dictate where he throws the ball. What Vic Fangio does is, okay, we're going to show you too high, we'll rotate the one. Or we'll show one and rotate two. We'll throw a fire zone blitz at you. We'll send pressure if we need to. But you'll never be able to guess what's happening with Vic Fangio's defense. And again, it makes for a lot of players getting a lot better. I think Bradley Chubb and Von Miller benefit from the quarterback not knowing where to throw the ball because if you don't know where to throw the ball, you hold on to the ball. You hold on to the ball, you're going to get sacked. And Von Miller, man, I really wish he didn't have that Achilles injury because Von Miller is so good.
That's fast.
Like,
Trust me, I know.
Good.
I know very well.
He is perennially like.
I bet you do, Jason. I bet you do.
He's perennially one of the best edge pass rushers in the NFL. Just his speed and bend is unnatural for a 200-pound linebacker. Because what he'll do, I think a lot of it, like his bend, he'll do this like it's a ghost move, like what Brian Burns does. Von Miller does it. That's where Brian Burns got from. His ghost move will like fake stab with a hand, long arm, and he'll just dip right under.
Dip and rip.
It's not even dip and rip. It's just dip.
He's just dipping.
He can't even get.
He does because he's so flexible and he gets low, and then like he explodes, and it's hard. It's hard because when you bend a tackle and you able to stay that low and you able to beat him off that slight edge, bro. Like watching Von Miller is like artwork.
Yeah.
It's just you amazed that like not a lot of people can legit do this.
It's like watching how figure skaters turn corners and bend. Von Miller's like a figure skater.
That's one thing I didn't expect to hear on Pancake. We're talking about figure skaters.
But it makes so much sense because
it does make sense though.
have great ankle. They have great ankle, knee, and hip flexibility. Von Miller, I've seen pass rushes where like when he dips, his hand is touching the grass.
Literally.
How are you supposed to block that? You can't because you're gonna get a holding call because you have to
actually. I got to shout out. I got to shout out Big Schwartzy, man, because I got to be honest. Von Miller is Mitchell Schwartz's son, and I really, really, really wish he stayed healthy because bruh, if I start talking about Mitchell Schwartz, I will literally be here all night. But I just had to point that out that Von Miller is his son, and
also
happy retirement to him because I think he's pretty much done. So
I also think Bradley Chubb is really good.
He's a stud.
Everything that Von Miller does with speed, Bradley Chubb does it with power.
It's a 1-2 punch.
1-2 with it.
It's like thunder and lightning.
Mm-hmm.
The thunder will come with the power, and then lightning just flying right off the edge. But I think their biggest thing is kind of like, which is weird, it's kind of like LA, the Chargers, which is weird because Brandon Staley worked under Vic Fangio before he got the job with the Rams. Their biggest questions are going to be the second line of that defense because Josie Jewell is a great run stopper. I think Baron Browning's going to have to come along rather quickly. The thing with Baron Browning is he has all the athletic talent in the world, but there are games where he just disappears.
Yep.
I think it was the first playoff game against Clemson in 2019. He was a ghost.
Yep. nowhere to be found.
He was. His instincts leave a lot to be desired, and they're putting him in the middle where instincts are important.
Absolutely.
But what he does well is he uses his athletic ability to be great on blitzes, and he's a good tackler. But his instincts leave a lot to be desired. Again, Alexander Johnson. I mean, good luck.
Sorry, bro. Nope, not the answer. Next.
But I think their DB room is solid. From Kyle Fuller, Pat Surtain, Justin Simmons, and Kareem Jackson. They got Ronald Darby in free agency who played well in Washington. He'll go back to playing. He'll play the same zone defense they did in Washington. That's a solid group of DBs that you can trot out.
Yeah.
And behind him is Bryce Callahan. I think Jamar Johnson was a steal as safety for them in the 5th round. Their DB room is solid. Their defense is low-key nice. Yeah. But it's all going to matter, like, who's playing quarterback.
That's my biggest question right there. That's the biggest thing I said with and that's my biggest thing I'm going to continue bringing with the Broncos. It's like, if they got Drew Jeezy playing quarterback, I don't like their chances. If they got Burner or Count Bridgewater, I don't like their chances. If they got A-Rod, they can go second.
Rodriguez?
Aaron Rodgers. A-Rod. If they got, Deshaun, keep your hand to yourself. They can second.
Let's stop with the Deshaun Watson stuff.
He's
not playing this year.
He's not playing. He's either gonna. He's like, bro, he's not playing football.
That booty warrior better come knocking.
Hey, but hold on.
Like,
for real, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I like you and I want you.
We can't keep going with Deshaun Watson. He's not playing. He's not being traded. He's not playing this year. They're going to have to ride it out with either getting Aaron Rodgers, which now is looking slimmer and slimmer by the day. Because I think if they were going to get an Aaron Rodgers deal done, it would have been either immediately after the draft or before it.
My thing is, I'm
kind of thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to stick in Green Bay just because we're getting a little close to the preseason and like mini camps.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a detriment. I think that's showing how much faith they got in Jordan Love. If they don't trade Aaron Rodgers, I think they're like, okay, Jordan Love is not the guy. He's not ready yet. If they trade Aaron Rodgers, I think they believe that Jordan Love is ready.
But wasn't Jordan Love struggling in like just like this mini camp, like just now?
They said he struggled like the first day. I believe reports said he was doing better.
Nobody knows what Jordan Love is. He hasn't thrown a pass in a game in 3 years.
He's what the booty warrior wants.
He was a 3rd string quarterback last year.
He's just straight booty cheeks. I don't know.
And for Denver, I think they're the best option for Aaron Rodgers if he does leave. But if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, I think this is John Elway's last year being GM.
You think they're getting him out of there?
They have to. There's no.
They're gonna get him up out of there.
There's no way. There's no justifiable way you can draft Patrick Surtain over a quarterback when you need a quarterback.
Okay, I will say
especially
this.
If Justin Fields plays well.
It's crazy how
if Justin Fields play well, or any quarterback that they didn't take plays well, and Denver like completely struggle, and Drew Lock is completely like just playing like absolute garbage, they're gonna have to get him up out of there.
It's crazy how you can be so good at identifying talent at every other position, but struggle at one, and then that's just the identity of your franchise. Because I mean, he's really done a good job finding talent everywhere else on this roster, and it's a damn shame.
When it's the most important position.
Hey, I'm not saying y'all are wrong. I'm just saying it's crazy that it can be that way.
Since Peyton Manning, the Broncos have started Trevor Siemian, Case Keenum, Paxton Lynch, Drew Lock, Brett Rippon. I mean, that's a fireable offense for
JP. Now you talked about me, I think a week ago with the Patriots. I know you said not every quarterback is Tom Brady. I fully believe they drafted them quarterbacks thinking they've had the next Peyton Manning.
And again, stop doing this. Not everybody Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was one of one.
Next thing you know, Rome's gonna come in here being like, Brock Osweiler was the next Matt Stafford. I swear.
Oh no.
But look, I'm standing behind Matt Jones.
Callback.
Waiting until the season ends. If he don't play the way he play, I can get up here and apologize. Y'all know it ain't enough for me to apologize. I have my take. I will burn behind that bridge I set. But just know,
just be ready to burn.
I'm usually not wrong about these things.
That's someone always says that when they're wrong, bro. They always say that. It's always like, I swear I'm not wrong about these things. Typically,
you gonna have to prove to me that you were right.
Again, I think John Elway should have been fired. Like, I'm not gonna say he should have been fired a couple of years ago, but you can't continue to miss at the quarterback position and waste prime Von Miller.
Yeah, to be fair, I thought the Bears GM was gonna get fired.
You can't continue to waste a great defense and great defensive players because of ineptitude at quarterback. That gets you fired.
Yeah.
So if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, it makes them not selecting Justin Fields a whole lot more questionable, especially if Drew Lock is bad, which I think he's going to be. I think the biggest problem with Drew Lock is I think Drew Lock has the arm arrogance in his mind where he's like, yeah, I can make this throw.
But then that thing be a dunk.
You're not that guy. It's like that, or like, you're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy, pal. He's not that guy.
That's a crazy thing is I think his biggest weakness is not being able to throw under pressure. Like, I mean, like when that man has a clean pocket, like he's good enough, but just under pressure, he is just god awful.
We let him play one Jeezy song and we just kept letting him in the NFL.
I think he
good dance though.
He forces the ball.
Yeah, he can't dance
when he's not. I think that was a problem with him in Missouri, where he would he has a really strong arm, but the accuracy isn't there. It isn't always there. The decision making isn't always there. That's why he's had all those turnovers in the first part of his career, because the accuracy and the making isn't.
Yeah, I also feel like it's all amplified like when he's under pressure. Like, just when he has a clean pocket and stuff like that, like his footwork is good, which means his accuracy is good, and then he's not forcing things because he has the time and he lets things develop. But that is just so few and far between for him because one, that Broncos offensive line is not that strong. Like it's an okay offensive line, just two solid pieces. And then that's just I just watched Devin Booker just nose start bleeding out of nowhere.
So
hey, this is where Teddy Bridgewater come in.
Bro, I got so sorry.
Oh my god.
Let's
talk about the bum. Let's talk about the bum.
The thing about Teddy Bridgewater
is come in and Teddy Bridgewater.
The thing about Teddy Bridgewater, he's not good. Like that's just the thing.
That's just facts.
Like they had 3 receivers go over 1,000 yards in Carolina, and they only won 5 games.
And we won 5 games because he's garbage.
That's insane.
Hey, he throw checkdowns on 4th down.
He gave y'all 3 1,000-yard receivers now.
Bro,
he is the antithesis of Drew Lock.
Thank you. I was going to get to that. Literally,
he's a better version of Drew Lock.
He's not the better version of anything.
Not even. He's literally like the worst possible version of Alex Smith.
Jason, this hatred. I thought we went curse about this.
I think Teddy Bridgewater's. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to start though.
I think he'll start a few games.
Most likely he's probably is.
Honest to God, I really do. And he's going to stink it up too. And I'm going to enjoy every last moment.
Jason, you need to sit down with Teddy Bridgewater and just have a simple, nice conversation, man. Remember, you need to sit in church with that man.
You know what? I'll go Dr. Phil on him and talk about how his girl left him for a guy on Christian Mingle. We can talk.
I was just about to say Jason will talk with him over Christian Mingle chat room.
Christian Mingle.
You don't know about that, Mike?
So how do you know about this? Like, where does this
Okay,
come from? Because
okay.
I'm always interested.
So okay, I got you. You wanna speak or you want me to speak, JP?
Nah, you go ahead, because I was going to talk a little bit more about Teddy Bridgewater's on-field
The
play.
player-
To talk about.
Okay, so basically what went down. So when Teddy Bridgewater, and I can say this now because shout out Newsbreak, love y'all. Y'all bless the bag. SI, y'all cool, but y'all can't do nothing to me now. So Teddy Bridgewater basically unfollowed like a bunch of people on Instagram, right? Like a bunch of Panthers players. And like they briefly discussed it on First Take. And apparently Ryan Clark knows of Teddy Bridgewater, like knows him and stuff. And he said live on air that the reason why he unfollowed so many people and why he's being like weird or whatever is because he had a bad breakup with his girlfriend, and he saw his girl on Christian Mingle.
What?
So, but why did he unfollow his teammates though?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, right? Nothing he does makes sense.
Nah,
on and off the field.
Y'all.
You think that she found one of his teammates on Christian Mingle and was like, "Hey, give me that D"?
I'm not gonna say nothing.
That's what it sounds like to me.
So you could say his relationship was intercepted.
Yes, his girl was intercepted.
AP, I'm so disappointed in you. But then again, I made a dad joke earlier about the DiCaprio dude. So I can't. Yeah.
I mean, y'all been making
about-
jokes about me all day, but
thing
just come along.
I mean, you just made it easy, Rome. When you're like, "Hey guys, I got to dip. I gotta make a baby or something." Whatever you said.
I said I got a plan for fatherhood. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what you said. Like, I mean,
hey, back to the bum.
I think he's gonna start because I think
Trust me,
I think what Vic Fangio wants at quarterback, which is don't make mistakes. Because there were times watching Drew Lock where I think Vic Fangio wanted to strangle him. But the thing about Teddy Bridgewater is he's not going to make mistakes to the point of not throwing the football. Like he will not take any chances.
Like any chances.
He's going to limit the productivity and the development of Cortland Sutton, of Jerry Jeudy, of KJ Hamler, and Tim Patrick because they're not getting any chances. It's all just going to be 2-yard checkdowns.
I think Jerry Jeudy may get chances because of his route running ability.
Oh my God, Jesus, bro!
He had DJ Moore. He literally had DJ Moore.
But again, we're going to get to that point in the fourth quarter where Teddy Bridgewater throws an interception, and Vic Fangio is going to want to like throw him over the Rocky Mountains.
It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait. Personally, I can't wait. It's going to be art, and I'm going to be like, wow, like imagine like dealing with this, like
Jason, you gotta get that hatred out your heart, man.
It's not.
He really does have such a hate for
you gotta get that
Bridgewater.
hatred out your heart, man. What you need a hug or something, dog?
I'm chilling. I'm just being honest. That guy.
He don't want you to go nowhere near him with those hands after what you just did.
Oh my God!
First of all, I don't use hands.
All right. Wrap it up. Next topic.
My bad.
Come back. Not knowing where they're supposed to go. How about Richie Incognito?
Let's go,
Ram. I think we built a solid chemistry here. Me and you've got something here.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
y'all do.
What y'all, the tag team brothers or something?
What'd you say?
We're more like Mr. Black and Mr. White.
This is what diversity
like Red Dead.
This is what America strives to be.
Oh man.
But like Raiders.
Speaking of black and white, we got the Raiders.
Speaking of black and white, you got
the Raiders are really weird though. Like
they had one of the best offensive lines in terms of run blocking, like in the NFL. And John Gruden decided, we're gonna blow it all up.
I didn't get that vibe when I watched them. I got that exact opposite vibe. That just looked like a unit that just.
I think they were great at running the ball.
Facts.
But they,
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Their defense was like historically bad last year. But
it showed.
They are the Raiders.
Line, we'll go to the offensive line. Colton Miller, I think, kind of solid, kind of. Alex Leatherwood. So after the initial shock of him getting drafted in the first round at 17,
my draft pick.
I think that was a fine draft pick for the Raiders because as much as I thought Tevin Jenkins was a Raider, Alex Leatherwood is a Raider, especially considering Mike Mayock and John Gruden's pedigree of drafting guys from Clemson and Alabama.
Before we go any deeper, how much longer do you think they have? Because it hasn't been pretty.
Well, I don't think they're done after this year because they signed John Gruden to like a 10-year, $72 million contract.
Yeah,
that seat's got to be warming up though, because it hasn't been pretty. Like they start off hot and they just fall apart.
I would give it a couple more years because I think the Raiders are notoriously like late to these.
It's crazy because if they
you
could,
give it like go ahead, Ethan.
I just feel like it's crazy because they have a lot of good pieces between Darren Waller, big fan of Josh Jacobs.
He struggled to stay healthy last year, but when he's healthy, he's really good.
That's the thing. I feel like they've got a lot of good pieces there, and then on defense, you've got guys like Jonathan Abram, like maybe their only good piece, but
no, not good. He's not good.
I mean, he's all right.
He's not good, man.
Jonathan is.
I don't want to throw shade at the man.
I understand why we think Jonathan Abram's good. He does all the highlight hits. He cannot guard a soul.
That is true. I will give you that. That is true.
He was bad in man. He was bad in zone. I think there was
he's a scaled back Jamal Adams, is what you're saying.
No, I think it was against the Chiefs where they were supposed to be playing like cover 4 or like cover 2, and he goes and guards the hook to curl. That's the safety. Leaving his.
Wait, why would he leave his? Oh my God! Against the Chiefs?
And they scored.
They scored.
Boy, it is Mahomes. So look,
he was wide open. Pass.
He was wide. I like visualize that whole play and going to the wow. Dude, that's embarrassing.
Abram is not good.
Okay, but for the record, though, I mean, Morig will help back there.
Morig will help because I think, well, it's different now because they have Gus Bradley, who's a single high coverage guy. I think Morig's going to be their free safety, but I think Morig comes from a split safety at TCU where he's only covering half the field.
Yeah.
Covering half the field is different from covering the entire third.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cleveland Farrell was a reach at the 4th pick. I think it's still a reach now because he's not that great.
Yeah,
really.
Max Crosby's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Quentin Jefferson was good for the Bills last year in terms of giving them an interior presence and pass rush. Jonathan Hankins.
Next.
Yannick Ngakoue. Okay. So here's the thing about Yannick.
Let's get into it.
He has one good pass rush move. If that move isn't working, you're not getting much else from him. So
that's a good take.
But I will say he's going to be back with the coach that drafted him, I think, Gus Bradley. Or he played with Gus Bradley for a little bit, I think. And he seems to like Gus Bradley.
That's nice.
Their linebackers are really bad.
Boo-boo.
Like Corey Littleton, he was good with the Rams before he got to the Raiders free agency. But
it's like the fuck.
I don't think he was that great. Nick Kwiatkowski.
Sorry, fam. No.
He said
no.
Sorry, fam.
No.
No.
They're actually moving Jonathan Abram to linebacker, which might help him a lot.
So I said he'd be solid.
They'll just ask him just to hit people, which is he's good at hitting people.
He's good at hitting people. Yeah.
I don't know what else you're gonna get from him, and you might have to take him off the field in pass coverage, unless they're gonna tell him you can go. They're only gonna use him to blitz.
Yeah, they're gonna give him the Jamal Adams treatment.
But Casey Hayward at corner, I think he's still got something left.
He got a little juice.
Damon Arnett has become an afterthought.
He got a little juice. Title of Rome sex tape.
Anyway.
Damon Arnett, I don't know. He's become an afterthought, which is shocking considering he was pretty good for Ohio State in college, and then it couldn't translate.
It just didn't work. They got Rasul Douglas from Carolina. I mean,
they also have Jonathan Abram listed as strong safety, so I'm just gonna put Carl Joseph there, who again is he's like Jonathan Abram but a little better in pass coverage.
A little bit. It's not saying much though.
Divine Diablo, which is another one of those names that's really cool, and I hope he plays a lot so I can hear Divine Diablo with pass breakup.
You know what's another good name? Divine Ezigbo. Never heard of him.
That's a great name.
It really is.
Morey's gonna start at safety, free safety, and then Trayvon Mullen is the other corner. The thing about this defense is it was one of the worst in the league last year. They couldn't stop the run, they couldn't stop the pass. The defense was very vanilla. It wasn't fitting with the players. But now they're bringing in Gus Bradley, whose defenses notoriously hasn't been very good since leaving the Seahawks.
That's what I just don't understand about anything that the Raiders have done this offseason, because that defense as a whole, it shouldn't be as bad as it was last year. Is it a great defense? No. But it's definitely not the worst in the league.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst in the league. I just don't think it suits the person. Their scheme doesn't suit the personnel.
Exactly. And it's just why bring in Gus Bradley? It just doesn't make sense. It's like on offense, the things that they're doing on offense just doesn't make sense.
The thing about their personnel is I don't think they're good against playing man. So if you're not good at playing man, you might as well play zone, but you can't play zone if you don't have good pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have good pass rush. So what do you do if you don't have pass rush? You play man and you try to blitz to get pressure. You can't play man because you don't have good safeties or DBs. So they're kind
of. If Abrams at linebacker, you have decent safeties ish.
He's a linebacker. He's a linebacker.
Gruden got 2 years to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I give him 2 or 3 years.
Hey, they're gonna get him up out of there if he don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, guess he's out of there because they're not going to make the playoffs.
Like, you've got two teams with better quarterbacks and just better pieces in general in the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Like, it's crazy how, like, Derek Carr had, like, one of his best years of his career last year, and they went, and they were like a 500 team.
Yep.
That defense was really bad. And I think
the defense was really bad, but I think Derek Carr, we know what Derek Carr is at this point, which is a average quarterback. He is in that Kirk Cousins area of mediocrity.
Yeah. Yes.
I think they used Henry Ruggs really weird last year in terms of they didn't target him at all. And I think a lot of that is due to Derek Carr turning into check down Carr, where he would not throw the ball deep. But I think they need to get him more involved in the offense, because outside of Darren Waller, he's your best playmaker at receiver, at pass catcher. They need to get him involved in the quick game. But the thing about it is Derek Carr doesn't take chances deep.
Ever.
They also need to get Brian Edwards involved.
Yes.
I mean, everybody talked about how great Brian Edwards is.
He's a physical receiver who's going to help with the underneath stuff, which is why I think Derek Carr likes Hunter Renfrow so much, because Hunter Renfrow ain't burning nobody. But we'll do the same thing they did at Clemson.
That is one dude I never thought would do anything in the NFL, and he's done something. And hats off to that dude.
Especially last season.
He's solid in the NFL. Want to know why? Because if you need 5 yards, he'll get you 5 yards.
I mean, hey, sometimes you need that though.
5 yards.
For real, people don't understand how important that is to have a receiver who he may not be the first option, he may not be the second option, but if you need 5 yards, he can give it to you.
He's like, fourth and 4, I got you. I got this 5.
Shout out Wes Welker.
Don't ask me for no more.
I got 5.
Yeah. Low key, Wes Welker kind of paved that way.
Yeah, shout out Wes Welker, man.
One thing I can't believe.
His
hands are so small.
I feel like I think we just kind of I'm comparing every white slot receiver to Wes Welker and Julian Edelman, because
But I mean, hey, they're the blueprint though.
I mean, what about Cole Beasley though? When y'all think about it, Cole Beasley was that same way.
Cole Beasley doesn't take any shots, so we need to disregard Cole Beasley in terms of the vertical threat.
Or just in general, but we.
I'm talking about
just in general.
One thing I can say about Cole Beasley: if you needed 5 yards, he somehow got open. Whether it was if they ran cover 3, he knew where to go. To a man coverage, he knew how to get open. If you needed 5 yards, and Abel can back me up, Cole Beasley will give you 5 yards.
You know how the Beasles would get open? You know how the Beasles would get open? He'd be coughing on people. He'd be like, with his unvaccinated ass, he'd just be coughing on people, create 3 yards of space automatically, bro. That's all you need to do. He said,
he'll get you 5 yards to the far right.
Yeah.
Cole gonna drop a diss
that
track,
was
y'all.
funny. Oh no, that was slept on. That was funny.
I think the weird thing about the Raiders this
You're welcome,
offseason
Jason.
is they were predicated on power running and running play action off of them. They got run when they got rid of Rodney Hudson, which was really stupid.
What were they thinking?
They were gonna cut him.
Like they were gonna cut their best lineman.
Yeah, we can trade this guy, and they didn't get anything back.
Just dumb.
They traded Trent Brown.
They're just a bunch of booty cheeks.
Yeah.
Again, what are they doing? What is
the Booty Warriors' favorite roster?
What is the plan? What is the goal?
We shouldn't have showed him that clip. He's just gonna bring that.
I can't get the Booty Warrior out my head.
Like, what is the goal for John Gruden and Mike Mayock?
Chaos. They just want chaos.
You can't.
And they got it.
They have a direction that they're going in with the moves they made in the draft or in the offseason. Because there is no direction. Which again, don't hire TV personalities or Twitter guys to run your front office. Mike Mayock, I know.
What you trying to say about me? You don't think?
What you trying to say, bro? I'd be a hell of a GM. What you mean? I'm playing.
I know.
Shit I be doing?
Oh. But Mike Mayock was on TV before coming back to the Raiders. Clearly.
Mike Mayock's daughter, though.
Don't.
Oh, God.
You're fighting him, not us. You got that battle, but
I ain't gonna lie, Mike Mayock, he might be able to fight. You got that.
Bro, why you think everyone gonna kick my ass?
Bro,
you not even bro. I wasn't even trying to fight him. I just was like, hey, Mike Mayock, you got a beautiful daughter. That's all I was saying.
Oh, that's
you shooting from across the country.
It's wholesome content. What you mean? I was being nice. I ain't say nothing provocative or dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't associating Mike Mayock's daughter with what you did before the podcast. Like,
okay. Well, either way it goes, I think Mike Mayock.
I think y'all jealous. That's what it is.
I think Mike
Bro, your girl got friends. I need help. I'm just.
I think Mike Mayock and John Gruden should be on their way out of the Raiders front office.
They need to be out of there.
Yeah.
I think they would have been out after. I think they should be out after this year. But the thing is, they signed him to that $72 million contract. Hold on. Let me get the exact numbers. So I want to make sure.
My boy looking the numbers.
Sure I get this right.
You pulling up that spot track?
I need to know what John Gruden's contract looks like. 10 years, $100 million. $100 million to go 7-10. And run your organization. He should be fired after this year, but he's not going to be.
He's not going to be,
$100
bro.
million. And you can't just throw that into the ocean. You can't just burn money like that.
They're doing it.
They're going to be this might be a kind of a hot take, considering how we talked about the Broncos. They're going to be in this division.
You think they're going to be the worst in the division? Wow.
They're bad.
The Broncos suck, bro. Sorry.
I think they're
just like.
I fully believe the Broncos will win some games due solely to their defense.
I think the Broncos are going to be good enough to play themselves out of Spencer Rattler.
Oh yeah.
And that will set them back for another 5 years.
Broncos 5-6 win team.
That's the thing. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, Denver, but I think they're not going to be bad enough to where they can draft a quarterback in the top 5.
I think they're going to be right where they were this past year, to be honest with you.
Exactly. But this Raiders team sucks. Like, there's nothing you can say they do.
The offense ain't that bad. Like, the offense showed highlights from last season, though. Darren Waller, like, some of the receivers.
It was because their O-line was, like, really, really good.
Their O-line was really good. And
they true. They did dip off. They lost Trent.
Bro, they blew that shit up, fam.
They're expecting Andre James to replace Rodney Hudson.
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
Their offensive line is going to be bad. I don't know how long Richie Incognito has left in the tank. Honestly,
He was really good last year, though, for what it's worth.
I still thought, for a minute, I thought Jason Witten was still on this team, and I was going to eviscerate them for still employing Jason Witten. But the one thing they did well last year was run the ball, and that made Derek Carr's life easier. They're not going to be able to do that if they don't have a good run game. And they got rid of – they're expecting Alex Leatherwood, and I think Alex Leatherwood is good to great tackle.
Yeah.
But expecting that year one might be a little bit of a stretch. I don't think Denzel Good is
that good.
Yo, I'm out here carrying this podcast comedically.
Colton Miller's kind of cool. I don't know how much he's got left. He's kind of thrown at this point, which you expect from somebody who's on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
But Derek Carr's game requires a lot of pass protection. I don't think they're going to get that, especially on the interior. And that's going to turn him into check down king. And that's going to stunt the growth of Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards. Darren Waller's probably going to have another fantastic year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Darren Waller is a top 5 tight end in the league.
Top 3.
I'd say he's top
3. I'm going top 3, especially after last season's performance.
He's the second best tight end in the NFL.
Oh, okay. No,
Ethan,
I'm not gonna let that. Yeah.
Wait. What was said?
So you said top 2. Oh, my bad.
If we
Ethan,
go
then
by
Rome.
division,
No, Rome. Go ahead, Rome.
My bad, I'm tripping. Is Ethan about to say something?
No.
I want to hear.
I want to
hear who had Darren Waller as top 2, and I want to know who you left out of the top 2.
That was Ethan.
Oh, that was Ethan.
I think Darren Waller is a great receiving threat.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't think he's a good blocker
at all. He's talking best all around tight end, like maybe Kittle, but I just what he brings in terms of the receiving game, it's electric. It's electric, and what he does on a night in night or game in game out basis is personally to me makes him the second best tight end. I'm not saying that he's so far ahead of George Kittle. I'm just saying he's receiving wise, and then just in terms of availability, I'm putting him above Kittle. But if Kittle stays fully healthy and he puts these injuries behind him, then he'll step into being second best tight end. Could even be the best in the NFL.
See it definitely Darren Waller. I think what makes him so special is his explosiveness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not a bad blocker. He's not as good as Kittle, but he gets the job done. So
yeah, he was a former receiver. You expect a former receiver to have explosiveness, be a matchup nightmare. They line him up out wide a lot, which I think helped him a lot because it reverts him back into being that natural wide receiver that he was, where he could just be bigger than every corner and every safety, or be faster than your linebacker. Again, I just don't think the Raiders are good. And I think a lot of this is an indictment on Mike Mayock and John Gruden. I think this might be an indictment on Gus Bradley as well. I just think they're going to have the worst record in that division because that defense might legitimately be historically bad this year.
And this my question heading that transition. This division, each team, where do y'all see the rank and the record?
So I think the Chiefs win the division pretty easily. I think they'll probably lose. Let's look at their schedule. I think they probably lose maybe 4 games tops because
okay. So about
I was thinking 4-2 with JP. I was like four losses is what came to mind. Just looking
I think 4 is tops for me because I can't see Patrick Mahomes losing more than 5 games.
Nah, probably I don't unless they just get ravaged by injuries. I think
they start off with a wild gauntlet for the first 9
That's what I'm saying.
games.
I think their first couple losses is going to come in that
They start off against Cleveland in Kansas City.
That's a dub. Come on, man.
That's a W.
And they're at Baltimore.
That's another dub.
I think it depends on how they catch Baltimore, but
I think then next they're at home against the Chargers.
I think that'll be a tough one.
That'll be a tough one.
Might want to make a statement early.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be a trap game because of coming off the first 2. They play at Philly after the Chargers, which
That's a dub.
then they play Buffalo.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Then they play Washington.
Dub. That's a dub, bro.
I don't know,
Dude.
man.
That offense
Basically,
isn't keeping
but we
up with
talk-
Kansas City, bro. Sorry.
Orlando Brown versus Chase Young is going to be so fun.
Orlando Brown's gonna shut that shit down. I can't wait.
Jason, you don't think Washington can compete with Kansas City?
I didn't say they couldn't compete.
Okay.
I said that offense is just gonna be too much.
Then they're at Tennessee.
Okay.
The last time they went to Tennessee, they lost. But to be fair, that was the first game after Mahomes got back from being injured.
That's also true.
Then they play the Giants on Monday Night Football.
That's
Then they play the
televised murder.
Then they play the
Packers.
No,
All right.
Monday Night Football always has its
Again,
televised
I
murder.
think the Giant game might be a little bit of a trap game considering the games that are around it.
Nah, fam. That's a blowout.
The
No
Giants
way in
are
hell.
going to make them work. That's all I'm
No
going to
way in
say.
hell. No, they're not.
Then they play the Raiders. Then they play the
Dub.
Cowboys. Ooh, that
Easy
Cowboys.
dub.
That Cowboys.
Upset. Cowboys alert.
I'm going to tune for that one.
Rome, get the hell out of here.
Specifically-
Don't you, don't you
But-
got some cunnilingus to
the thing
go
about
take care
that
of
is-
Always
Oh
play
my
next when they're least expected to win.
The thing about that is
every game?
those are their first 11 games before the bye week. They won't have a break in between. They get their bye in week 12, and they had that gauntlet to start off.
Did I
Then
really
after the
just say
break,
cunnilingus?
they had the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Steelers, Bengals, Broncos.
They probably win all of them.
Legitimately, I think they'll probably win about 14 games. They'll probably lose 3.
14 and
maybe
3.
4.
I think they'll be 13-4.
I think they'll be 14
I
and
think
3.
they'll drop 4.
Okay, so we'll go to the Chargers schedule.
Okay.
We know there are going to be 2 losses with the Chiefs. But, again,
I'm
anything
just going on one.
They're going to steal one.
I think they're gonna split. I really do think they're gonna split.
anything
Yeah,
can
they
happen.
were close. They almost beat them last year, so I say 1-1.
So their first game of the season is against Washington. I think that's a loss.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
They're playing Washington first, and I think that's a loss.
I think they'll lose.
I think Ron will get them. Yeah, that's a loss.
Then they play Dallas, which is going to be televised.
Yeah, televised murder.
Then they're at Kansas City.
Cowboys winning.
I think they beat Kansas City.
6-0.
They beat
I'm going to tell you how it's going to
Kansas
go.
City
week 3.
The Chargers are going to get a big lead, and the Cowboys are coming back.
I don't think they beat Kansas City in week 3 in Kansas City.
I think
Not
they
an
do.
Arrowhead. Not an Arrowhead,
will.
bro.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Then they play the Raiders.
Dub.
Then the Browns. They're at home against the Browns.
That's
Then
a
they
L.
play at Baltimore, which
L.
might end up being really bad.
Yeah, that's an L.
Then they got the bye. They play
Yeah.
the Patriots. I kind of
Who knows?
Mac
Oh,
Jones.
whoop the
That's easy.
Patriot.
That's
Televised
easy.
murder, as Jason says.
Then
Mac
they play the
Jones.
Eagles, which again ripped to
They'll
Philly.
beat them.
Then they play Minnesota.
W.
Jefferson, that's
Then
That's
they play
it.
the Steelers.
W.
L.
I-
No, I don't know.
Wait,
Still.
wait.
L.
We'll get to
Still,
the Steelers- We'll get to the Steelers, but
Mhm,
I don't know. That could be a win for the Chargers.
mhm.
Then they play Denver.
Dub.
Dub.
Then Cincinnati.
Dub.
W.
Then they play the Giants.
W.
Dub.
Then they play in Thursday Night Football against Kansas City.
They'll take an L.
they'll take a dub.
They're gonna lose
Thursday night.
because that's a
They're a
Thursday
dub.
football game after playing a team that's gonna make you work for every
Mhm.
single for all things.
On Thursday
And they
night,
play-
like Kansas City's got them easy on a Thursday night. That's what I'm saying. I think they'll take Arrowhead.
Andy
Kansas City
Reid-
hits them Thursday night. in the
Andy
Mountain.
Reid's game preparation is unparalleled, so they're gonna
Mhm.
lose that one.
Yeah, they will.
Play at Houston, which again televised
So
that.
W.
Mhm.
Then they play Denver. Then they play the Raiders.
Dub. Dub.
Okay.
I think maybe
They drop 6
I'll
or
say 9
7.
and 8.
Yeah,
Nine.
9 and 8, 10 and 7, somewhere around that realm.
See, I'm
10
going to
wins.
go 11 and
10
6.
wins.
I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt.
See, I don't give them a game against the Chiefs.
I
don't think it's.
I give them the Chiefs, but they're taking the L to the Cowboys. Dak
Oh,
Prescott.
golly.
Oh my god.
Dak
Those
Prescott.
Cowboys- that
Look,
Cowboys
we're
team
gonna be
garbage.
losing, and
Oh
Dak
my
Prescott's going
God.
to bring us back. We're going to win, and then people are going to say Super Bowl contender and give us high expectations. And
Y'all
then
said
they're
that
gonna-
before.
Justin Herbert is going to
Damn,
turn
Mike.
Stephon Diggs into barbecue chicken.
Look,
Literally.
leave Trevon Diggs alone, dog. Leave him. What you got against him? What did you? You must have bet against Trevon Diggs, and Trevon Diggs cost you some money. That's what happened. Diggs cost you some money.
Cowboys a lot of money.
He cost you some money. I ain't talking about. I'm talking about you. He cost you some money because you
Cowboys' whole foundation cost people money.
you ain't brought up Diggs yet without mentioning trash. I noticed that about you.
What do you want me to say?
Bro, I noticed you wanted to rob me. What you mean?
I said I would have robbed you. I ain't say I was. Come on now. That's just
It's the same shit.
No, it's not.
All right. So the Broncos, they start off week 1 at the Giants. I think
they lose that game. Honest to God, they lose that game.
then they're playing at Jacksonville. That's a loss.
That's a dub. I'm sorry.
You said that out of spite.
You know what? That was the most petty, loss.
That was so
right,
spiteful.
Man.
Oh my!
Right.
Next.
Then they play the Jets.
Who are we talking about now? Because I'm just
Broncos.
lost.
Broncos.
Okay.
Broncos play the Jets, which I low key think I think they could lose to the Jets.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop
And I
it.
would laugh.
I think they could lose to the Jets.
Von Miller is going to murder. Von Miller is going to murder Zach Wilson.
And Drew Lock will
Not if Makai Becton got shit to say.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Won't matter.
Then they play the Ravens, which, oh my God.
I'm watching that game.
They're going to
That's
turn
hell.
Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater into a punching bag. But then, get
That's
this.
a hell.
After they play at home against Baltimore, they go to Pittsburgh.
Oh,
That's
that's an L.
That's a
Someone
bad
is injured, man.
Man.
He said that's
Then they play the
L.
Raiders. And right after that, they got the Browns and
L.
Cleveland.
L.
Fat L.
Then they play the Washington football team.
Oh, fat L.
Then they play Dallas.
That'd be close.
Honestly,
I think Washington and Broncos would be close.
I think Dallas will get them. I think the Cowboys will get that dub. So that's an L.
We can get the Broncos.
I think they're going to beat Dallas.
No, you just being petty. You reverse the roles now.
My, how the tables turn.
Mm.
Then they play Philly. I think they're going to beat Philly.
The Cowboys will beat the Broncos easy, and it's not even close. And I think the Eagles will beat the Broncos.
Mm.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be good either.
I just think the
in the
Eagles.
bye week, they play the Chargers.
L.
They play at Kansas City.
L.
Then they play the Lions.
Who
No.
It'll be a
knows?
close game.
That's
I
a
think
who knows for me.
it's going to be a close game of mediocrity. That's going to be
Yeah.
like the Tank Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Then
That's
they play
so sad.
Then they play Cincinnati. I think they beat Cincinnati.
I think they lose. I think Joe Burrow come alive that game if he's still healthy.
I just
If he don't get
What you
murdered by
predicting him to get
early.
destroyed?
Joe Burrow might not survive.
Yeah.
But
Man.
then they play the
R.I.P.
Ravens.
Joe Burrow. I love Joe
I need to
Burrow.
look at their
Like,
roster. Hold
man.
Then they play the Chargers.
I think
And
they'll
then
win.
They finish with the Chiefs. I think they beat the Chiefs. The
Hmm.
main reason why.
Get the hell out of here.
No, listen.
on.
I know it. I know where he's going.
The reason why
I know
it's
where
week
you're going.
18. It's week 18.
It's week
Nobody's
18.
gonna be
That's
playing.
why no one's gonna play. That's
They've
why.
already clinched the division.
Yeah.
They clinched the playoff spot. Ain't nobody gonna be playing.
The Chiefs,
Yeah.
the Chiefs could bring back Matt Moore and start his ass, and they still gonna win.
I think they are. Like they're gonna start Matt Moore in that game. I think the Broncos, if they win any game this season, they should win that one.
Like
Broncos are going to split with the Chargers and the Chiefs.
The only reason they're split with the Chiefs is because they play week 18.
And I think they're going to split with the Chargers. I think and I'm basing it. It may be based off the names or the defense. I think their defense will carry them into a split with the Chargers.
Brandon Staley's Chargers defense is going to have Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater looking like that confused Mr. Krabs meme.
and it ain't really hard to do.
That's
So,
true, but still,
move
like,
on.
yeah.
Okay, so where do we think? How many wins do we think the Broncos finish with?
6 or 7.
How,
Five.
5, 6 or 7.
I'll go
Because the
Five.
Broncos, that's what the Broncos always do.
Mhm.
Their worst is always going to be a 6-win team, 5 or 6-win team.
They'll win 4.
Oh my God, the Raiders' first 3 games. Week 1 is against Baltimore on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Then week 2 is at Pittsburgh.
That's an
Then
L.
week 3 is against Miami.
That's an L. Yeah.
Then they play the Chargers.
L.
Then they play the Bears. I think they lose.
Justin Fields is gonna go crazy. I think that's gonna be his
Khalil
coming out
Mack is
game.
gonna go dumb.
They're gonna lose.
Khalil Mack gonna go dumb.
We'll see.
They'll win.
Then they play the Broncos. I think the Broncos win that. Then they play.
I think that'd be close.
This is the game I think Philly wins. I think they'll beat the Raiders.
Okay.
Then they have a bye week. Then they play the Giants in New York.
They'll win.
I think they'll win.
I think that's a dub.
I think that's a loss.
The Giants, we will cover the Giants, bro.
We cover. It's gonna be. It's based on Danny Dimes and yeah.
Again, who do they have on defense? Who do the Raiders have on defense?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about that too. Who's gonna stop picking on Barkley?
No one.
I'm looking
run all over.
I'm looking with JP on that. I think the Giants might beat them.
Then after the Giants, they play Kansas City on Sunday Night Football.
Hell.
Why did they set them up like this?
Again, Monday Night Football is just straight televised murder.
This is Sunday Night Football.
They're trying to get coach up out of there.
Sunday night.
Then they play Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati wins.
I got it.
Because the one thing
I got Raiders.
The one thing they do in Cincinnati is get pressure.
Yeah,
the
that's
Raiders
true.
aren't doing that, and they can't guard anybody.
Yeah.
I'm speaking more of a football psychic turn. It's like when you start having a losing streak, you get to a game where you feel like you can win, and you kick it up a notch.
Well, that's
and
the next.
I think the Raiders will do that.
That's the next game. This is the next game I think the Raiders win. They play at Dallas. I think that's the game where they
They're not beating Dallas. They're not beating Dallas. They got a better chance of beating Tim Tebow and the Jags.
Tebow and the Jags.
Lucky for you, we don't even play them.
Hey.
So then they play the Washington
I thought
Football.
that would be lucky for you, JP.
Now it's lucky for Rome because we would have
Oh yeah, because you guys would win. Okay, I wasn't following necessarily.
Then they play the Washington Football Team, which again,
Fat L.
like death.
Yeah.
Then they play at Kansas City.
Another fat L.
Then they play Cleveland in Cleveland.
Oh, fat L.
I don't see them beating.
They're run all over that defense.
It's gonna be embarrassing.
Then they play Denver.
Who knows?
At Indianapolis, and I think Indy might be fighting for a playoff spot.
Indy's gonna beat that ass.
Yeah.
Chargers, who also might be fighting for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers
again.
Actually, bold prediction. I think they'll beat one of the two teams. I think they'll upset one of the two teams. I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Legitimately, I think the Raiders will win like 3 games.
I think they'll go. I say like they beat maybe 5, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say they might sneak and get
5 or 6.
That the Raiders and the Broncos are gonna be like very close win total.
Very, very close.
I give them 4.
I don't see a team on here where I'm like, yeah, the Raiders have a good chance of beating them, except for Philly.
Yeah.
And maybe Dallas.
So petty.
So the way we have, we all think Kansas City's going to be first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all think the Chargers are going to be second.
Yep.
Then we all think the Broncos third.
I got the Broncos third.
I think the Broncos are going to be dead last, bro. They're ass.
I think it's going to be Raiders third.
You said that because of Ted. You ain't sleep.
No, I'm saying that because I'm looking at this roster, and if Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock starts, they're going to be horrible.
Oh yeah, they're going to be.
Look at the Raiders roster.
I understand, but at least the Raiders
that's
have
what got me confused. Like JP bringing up the defense for the Raiders, and there's Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know what's in the pick.
It's like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object.
But I already told y'all mine. If everything changes depending on if the Broncos can pull off a miracle
It's not gonna happen.
And get Aaron Rodgers.
and get a
This
quarterback.
This will all change if they get Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying. If not, then they made the stupidest mistake of their lives, and someone's going to get fired.
John Elway's going to be fired this year if they don't.
Side note: what are the odds? What are the odds that Kendall Jenner's watching this Suns game right now and is upset because Devin Booker's perfect face just got wrecked?
I mean, it's not like
the same
Go ahead.
odds of the Raiders win the division.
There we go. I was gonna make a Calipari joke, but
What's a Tyler Perry joke? You gotta say it.
Man,
You
I'm
gotta
not
say it.
making no. Tyler Perry wrong, bro. Tyler Perry's an asshole.
I said Calipari.
I thought
But yeah, he wrong.
Tyler Perry.
There goes
My
wrong. He already
bad.
doing the deed for a second time today.
Tyler Perry
That's
wrong,
why I ain't
though,
paying
bro.
attention.
He is wrong though.
So
Hey,
looking
you
at
just mad 'cause I got the half.
Looking,
as of 4 days ago, OddsShark
I don't know
had
what he said,
the
but I
Aaron
don't
Rodgers
hear it.
odds. The
Mhm.
Broncos have the second best odds for where he's going to end up. But first is the Packers. But third actually is the Raiders. If the Raiders somehow get Aaron Rodgers, their defense will still be bad.
yeah.
That'd be a playoff team.
But I think Aaron Rodgers will mask a lot of the problems with that offense.
You can't do that with the Broncos, bro.
Then for some, actually, I kind of understand. The next best odds for Aaron Rodgers playing where he's going to end up is the Cleveland Browns.
They're not gonna do, old boy. They're not gonna do like that.
Yeah, they're not gonna do Baker like that.
They're
But
too locked in.
if you had the opportunity to trade Baker Mayfield for Aaron Rodgers,
I would
Oh,
take Aaron
A-Rod.
Rodgers all day, but I don't think that management is
I don't
good.
think they're going to because youth. But again, Aaron Rodgers, it's not like Aaron Rodgers is bad. He's coming off an MVP.
The
Exactly.
question is, are the Browns ready to win now? If they're ready
Yes.
to win now, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers because you got Nick Chubb. Your
Yeah.
defense, okay. Your offensive line is great. You got Jarvis. Odell's going to come back. You put Aaron Rodgers in that situation. It don't matter what play. It don't matter what you call in that huddle. I will be a head coach and I'll be like, hey, the play call is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Think of a play. I'll just let you do you.
But the next team on here actually, I think, makes a lot of sense. New Orleans Saints.
Bro, don't you speak that evil on this podcast.
No, man. Aaron Rodgers, the Saints.
It'll be a crime
they
how
need
Aaron
like
Rodgers
cap.
throwing
I would-
down.
I
They
would
don't have anything to
vomit.
do it.
I would literally.
Then the next best odds is the Washington football team.
That
Wait.
makes sense.
If Washington somehow gets Aaron Rodgers,
No.
they're like Super Bowl
Stop.
contenders.
Immediate
Oh,
Super Bowl
yeah.
contenders.
Don't
Yeah.
you put that
Oh,
evil
yeah.
on your Bobby.
If they don't have to trade anybody along that D line for Aaron
We're
Rodgers,
chilling.
they're Super
Mhm.
Bowl contenders.
Mhm.
Miami,
Oh,
I actually think that's kind of interesting because you would trade Tua.
Yes, they would.
Oh, yeah, they would.
Then I think Aaron
Probably
Rodgers
should
makes
too
it
after
a
his
lot
7th
better.
pick day. I'm just
Then
kidding.
the next to last odds, I'm sorry I framed it like that, as next to last, the Carolina Panthers.
It makes sense. I've been saying this shit for like ever,
y'all
but they
not,
won't
y'all
do
not
it.
letting go of Sam.
Yeah, I know. We're locked
Just-
in on Sam Darnold because we're idiots, and our front office is a bunch of. Let me shut
Sam
up.
Darnold.
This one's kind
Anyways,
of dumb, but the one with the least odds on this list is the Los Angeles Chargers.
Huh?
I don't see why they gotta do that.
It would surprise me a lot if they
They're
had
not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that.
But the Broncos had the second highest odds. Do I think they do it? I don't think so.
I
They
don't
would
think
have
so
done it
either.
a lot earlier. And again, if you passed up on Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers for Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, you deserve to be fired. Like, I think John Elway will be done after this year.
I legit think John Elway wouldn't be able to walk in Denver.
No, he's solid in Denver.
He
forever.
He's
would get
good.
G-
No,
would
he's
get
good there
DJ.
forever.
for what he did.
The
For who he
reason why
drafted.
the reason why he's still there now is because of his rep as a
Playing
player.
career, bro. Yeah.
Because as a GM, he's been bad.
Mhm.
Outside of getting Peyton Manning, what has he done at the quarterback position?
He been Michael Jordan bad.
Y'all think
Yes.
that the Broncos were the team that Tom Brady was talking about in that shop commercial or whatever?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think it was.
That's who he was referencing.
I don't think it was.
That's the
I don't
only
think it
thing
was
I could.
Broncos.
That's the only team I could have thought of.
I don't
Mhm.
think it was the Broncos.
It had to be the 49ers.
I think it was the 49ers.
Yeah.
Probably
Could've
wasn't
been
Niners
definitely
though.
49er.
But
You
I-
chose that motherfucker over me?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like Jimmy G,
It makes
like
sense.
yeah.
That's the first time I heard Tom Brady cuss. I am genuinely
Shit,
surprised.
I heard Tom Brady say a few
the dude is from Michigan and played in Boston.
Yeah, like come
Man
on now.
curses. He probably says, "I'm not even gonna go into that." I'm not even gonna go into that. But I think Denver has to. I think Denver has to do the trade for Aaron Rodgers if they really want to win. And again, John Elway has been bold in going and getting those guys. He got Peyton Manning, but that's the only thing that he's done as a GM. So if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, I think they're going to.
He had to get Peyton Manning though. You know why he had to get Peyton Manning?
Because they were bad at quarterback, which
You know who was at quarterback.
which looks a lot like
Your tight end failed them.
which looks a lot like their team
right now.
perennially bad at quarterback.
Yeah.
Disgruntled veteran, like star quarterback, greatest of all time, potentially. Wanting to find a new destination, it has to be now for John Elway. He has to go do it. But if he's, I don't think he is, and I think he's going to be looking for another job next year. Because you can't continuously fail at the quarterback position. And that's what he's done.
Blank.
I think his problem was he reached for the next Peyton Manning. And I think that's where he failed at.
He reached for the 6'6" white guy without realizing that these dudes actually couldn't play quarterback.
I'm surprised the Bears GM didn't get
Like
fired.
7 of them, by the way.
For what
Not
he
even
did.
just one.
Yeah, he's had like 7 of them. And he's all like, oh, they play just like me. They're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
And on that note, we're going to be talking about much better quarterbacks on next week's episode where we discuss the AFC North. And I can't wait because it's going to be absolutely
We're gonna talk about
marvelous.
We're gonna talk about great quarterbacks and Ben Roethlisberger.
You heard it here, folks. We appreciate our little fans and supporters. Tune in on the next Flapjack Friday, and we out. Yes, sir.